Well, hello everyone. It's New Year's Eve, and I'm Dave.
I'm Ron.
And welcome to our. We're gonna call this our big effing New Year's show, Ron. I decided to call it
Yes,
that.
I saw that.
Probably because I'm reading Getty Lee's book, My Big Effing Life. I'm halfway through that book right now.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. Do you know what's been pretty neat is I picked up the audio version, and
Hmm.
it's and someone one of the listeners said it was him, and it is him. So I'm listening to him narrate, and I got the book open. I'm following along, and it's pretty cool because he just adds some human
Oh,
interest
I
to
would
that.
think so.
Yeah. So whereas you're reading it just yourself, but when he reads it, and he's like, "Hey, man, I just got kicked out of my own band," and he adds that humor, and then he adds phrasing and pronunciations that I would never get.
He goes.
So
They have a ghostwriter, or did he write that himself?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of big words in it that I'm not even sure of. So I
Okay.
mean, good for him for being a smart guy. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I want to say hello to everybody here. We got some people in the chat room already. Midlife crisis coming by. Pesky Paul. I don't know if we're gonna get to midnight here. We're old people, but we're gonna have some fun tonight. I hope. Michael comes by. Good to see Michael here. The replay gamer comes
Happy
by.
New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone here.
We're going to hear about fireworks out my window in about 40 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do here tonight, folks, is if you'd like, we're gonna if you'd like to join the show, and you got a camera and a microphone, you're set up ready to go. Let us know. Either email us. I'm not gonna put the link here in the chat, but email us, Facebook us, or whatever you want to do. However you get a hold of us normally, and we'll have you on for a few minutes and say hi. And that's what we plan on doing here. When we won't keep anybody on the whole night, but if you'd like to drop in and say hi, we can have you on the camera because that's kind of what this is. It's a big community show here tonight,
Hmm.
and that's what this is. So again, digital to dice at yahoo.com is how you can get a hold of us if you want. I'll send you the link. Drop in, say hi. You don't have to. Okay, it's all just whether you want to do it or not. It's all just having fun tonight, and we'll have some people come in and out, popping in and out here on the show. And big words equals bad. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to you know, read the book here, and he's using words I never heard of. I'm like, this is a rock and roll guy. Why are we using such words that I never heard of?
Well,
And yeah, we're hoping to have a little bit of fun tonight. We're gonna do a little chat. A little bit of everything's on the table tonight. And what's funny, Ron, is have Uncle Al take over at 10. Yeah, he's the night owl. Yeah, he'll probably be on all night. Yeah. Um,
oh,
and
wow.
Steeler fan coming
How you
by,
doing?
and K fan. Good to see K fan here. And what's funny, Ron, as we get older, which we
Yes.
are older, right? You have a lot of people that they used to post about all their New Year's Eve's, partying and going out and this and that, and then now it's all the people bragging about how they're staying home.
I don't. I think I went out once for New Year's Eve, making the mistake of trying to find a restaurant that didn't have a 3-hour wait. I must have been
Yeah,
21 or 22. And that was it. The CBC used to have a full night of comedy specials when Sarah and I were first married, and so we would watch those
really.
on,
Do you know
on New Year's Eve.
we would do like the last probably 5 or 10 years? What we would do is we would go out to the Chinese place on New
Hmm.
Year's Eve, the one up the street or whatever it is, and we get a table, 4 or 5 o'clock. We go in and get a table, and they would have a light menu for that night, and we would sit and just chill out. And like I said, if you called to get food, you couldn't get it. But if you went in and sat, you get your food pretty quick. And we would just people watch and see the line at the door and all the bags sitting there and all the extra people they had on that night to handle the takeout. And it was a fun little scene there, because there's really nothing else going on. So we would just hang out, have our drinks, have our food, and then go home, and that was it for us for the night.
Yeah.
Um, our town here, they had a downtown thing for New Year's a lot of times. I remember her dad and mom used to go when her dad was alive, and they would stop by our house after and just kind of hang out. But they would show up, they'd be freezing. Now tonight's
Oh
not
yeah.
too bad. Tonight, I'm looking at the temperature here, and our temperature's 31 right now. But there'd be a lot of times to be in the 15s or the 20s, and they would, I'm like, I can't picture going out on a night like this and freezing or standing outside somewhere.
We always had a huge first night thing here in Burlington because we're the biggest
Yeah,
city in the state, and I never went. There was just too many people. But yeah, most New Year's Eves 5 or 10 below zero. Around then, your best restaurants in your kitchen.
yeah. New Year's
Yeah,
Eve is amateur night.
amateur night. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And
Happy New Year,
so,
Gideon. It's
so
already 2024 in the
yeah,
UK.
they actually canceled it this year. So the downtown, all the festivities downtown were canceled this year because they didn't have enough people and they didn't have donations and the whole bit. And I think it was like 10 or 15 to $20. You'd have to buy a button, and the
Yeah,
button would,
that's what they did here.
yeah. And so that's what it was. And
The fireworks are the only thing that they have left. COVID and a lack of interest over the last few years. I mean, who really wants to go stand around downtown and get your face painted when it's 20 degrees?
yeah, yeah, putting stuff on your face is not what you want to do.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do. I mean, it's a good way, it was to keep the kids busy, but it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
There was a couple nights I remember they had hockey games out in Worcester, and we would go out to the hockey game in Worcester, and things like that. So, but yeah, there was a couple times we come home and we catch the fireworks on the way home. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you'd like to join us, just send us a message, and we'll send you the link, and you can come on and join us for a few minutes. You don't have to stay long, and we're going to try to rotate people the best we can as they come in and out of the stream. And again, if I sent out a couple links. If you don't want to join us, that's fine too. But if you want to come in and say hi, that's fine. As ID comes by.
Yep.
And we're just going to hang out and say hi tonight for a little bit. And midlife crisis. Just finished our traditional Chinese dinner at my dining room table, watching the Chiefs game. Yep, there you go. And things definitely got shifted a bit after COVID. Yep,
Yeah.
it was. Forrest, thanks for coming by.
Happy New Year, Forrest.
And ID is in the house. Yep. Doug comes by.
Hi, Doug.
I read that real quick. I thought it said Doug Seasons. And I was like, oh, what a cool name for a tabletop gamer.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, And our first guest has arrived on the show.
Hey!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, ID.
Guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right.
I'm doing great. I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys doing this. This is
Yeah.
exciting. I mean, just to know, we're going to get a lot of people on tonight just to say hi, just to, talk about the year that was and looking forward to 2024. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. We figured we were going to do this a while ago, and then I ran into some misfortune. We never had the chance to do it. So I said, well, New Year's Eve would be a good chance if people are sitting home, they want to come on for a few minutes and say hi. We'll just kind of keep the guests flowing, and it could just be kind of a fun night.
Yeah, you get a lot of different views, a lot of different people talking, a lot of people just, mentioning what they did for the year, whatever. And it should be a lot of fun to reminisce about 2023.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you did this year, and what are you looking to do in 2024?
So on my channel, my goal was to do 100 brand new games that I've never played before on the channel. So I ended up doing 132 new games this year.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I did my end of year review today. I actually posted that earlier today. So if you want to check that out, be sure to do it. And my goal for 2024 is and I think it's important that everyone has goals, because as I said in my video, if I didn't have the goal of, hey, I'm going to put 100 new games on the channel this year, I would never have done that. I would have started it, but I would have never finished it. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. So having goals and sticking to your goals is super important. So my goal for 2024 is all about second and third chances. This is kind of inspired by you guys, actually, where I know sometimes you play a game and it just doesn't click, and you put it aside, you say, I don't like it or whatever. And then you come back to it and you find out, hey, this game is not bad. So,
if anything I learned is never throw away a game. There's a couple games I'm like, and I was going to I was like, nope, I put them at the bottom of the shelf. And then I pulled them out one day and went back. And for some reason, this time it worked and it clicked, and I'm so glad I didn't get it. Payoff pitch. I almost get rid of all my payoff pitch stuff because I just had a hard time with it. I don't know what it was. And now I have so many seasons of payoff pitch, and that's all I play for baseball. So I'm glad I stuck with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, 2024 will be all about second and third chances. A lot of these games that I've kind of poo-pooed and talked bad about, I'm going to put them on the channel again. I'm going to give them another honest try. And obviously you won't click with everything, but you never know. There's probably going to be 10 or 15 gems I'm going to find next year that I'm going to be like, oh, I hated this game and now I love it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I've learned, and we talk about, growing as a gamer, maturing as a gamer, and the whole bit. And sometimes it's, what doesn't catch you right off the bat, maybe you're just not ready for it, or maybe you need to circle back to it, or something like that, or maybe you need to play a whole bunch of other games and then come back to it.
Right.
And now not every game I come back to, I'm like, oh, I really like this game, but a lot of them I've come back to, I'm like, boy, I really do like this.
Yep. And so this year, like I said, I did my end of year review show. Try and say that 3 times fast. Earlier today, and I basically broke it down into different classifications: sports game of the year, war game of the year, Euro game of the year, big box game of the year. And so I know a lot of you haven't seen the episode yet, but do you want to know what my sports game of the year is, or should I?
No, what is it?
So it was very tough because I had a really good sports. I had a great sports year.
Mm-hmm.
My channel does not focus on sports, but I'm telling you what, I probably had more fun playing the sports games this year than I had playing the war games. And I talk about that during my show. I did not enjoy playing the war games very much at all. I had a much better time playing the sports games. But my 2023 sports game of the year is Glory Days College Football.
You like college football anyway, so
I love college football. You guys know I'm a big Buckeyes fan, and you don't see very many college football games. Number one, Number two, the ability to play this any way you want, hybrid mode, play-by-play, quick play, upside down, left side, right, you name it, this, that, and the other thing. And just the amount of time and effort that goes into rating and publishing 132 different college football teams is immense. So, I mean, just the amount of time and effort that went into that. And like I said, it was a tough choice. But I really like that game, and I think it's kind of one of those. I know Anthony's redesigning the system with his college or with his pro football game coming up in next year, and I'm looking forward to that as well. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better for sure.
I was watching him play that on his channel, and I'm really intrigued by this game. I really am. So I can't wait for that to come out as pro.
ID, have you tried Pirate College Football?
I have not. I haven't even heard of that one, actually.
There is someone who sent me about this time last year, is a fan of older teams, and he has done one for each of the conferences from 60 to 89. And so it's, if you like, it's like 73 Alabama or whatever it is, it's Pirate College Football. It should go. It's on the Delphi tabletop forums.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah,
it is kind of. It is. It's a bit of a hybrid, like Anthony's games. There's a solitaire play calling system if you want to do that. It's very detailed, and this guy clearly loves college football. Highly recommended.
All right.
So it's a lot.
You guys introduced me to a couple great ones this year, Dave and yourself. Momentum football, shootout hockey. Those were both new to me this year. And I love both of those games. There's so many good things about playing a game and not taking 4 hours to play it either.
Right.
Yeah. We talked about that, what games you like to play. Well, ID, hang with us. Hey, have you ever played?
Before you go, how's your health doing?
I'm doing fine. Yeah.
Good.
No repercussions or anything yet.
Good.
So everything's 2 thumbs up. So thank you guys for having me.
Have you ever played inside pitch?
If I ever
Because
played
this
inside
guy
pitch-
right here has played a lot of inside pitch.
Oh my God, he's going to drive us crazy with inside pitch.
Happy
Hi,
New Year.
Robert.
Happy New Year.
to two of my greatest uncles in the universe and some guy named Jester.
Hey, a lot of you guys don't know this. A lot of you guys do know this. Me and RJL, we love to tease one another, but we actually got to meet and hug this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
remember.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute great honor for me to meet this man in person, to shake this man's hand and meet his lovely wife. It was a terrific get together. Hopefully we can do it again on this coming March when the Mets play the Cardinals at Roger Dean again here in Jupiter. So hopefully we can get together again, Kirk. That would be awesome. I would really love
it. It was a lot of fun just hanging out, talking sports, talking Sims, talking games while we're at the game. And you don't get that experience with your wife, that's for sure. So it was a great job. I'm going to step out. I'm going to let you guys talk to him. Thank you guys for having me. Thanks for all you guys did.
By.
All right. And you guys have a great New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
All right.
So here's the inside pitch master here.
That's right.
RGL Network starting up a new season pretty soon.
Tomorrow, right? New Year's night?
Yeah, starting on 1972 tomorrow. We'll start it. I was going to start it officially at 8, but I forgot all about the college football playoffs. So, and Alabama plays Michigan starting at 5. So I'll probably, if the game is already decided and at 8 o'clock, I can start it. But if it goes a little later, I'll just wait to start the season. But yeah, 1972 inside pitch.
Nice.
This is going to be my 9th replay.
Wow.
Nice.
So
Now, when you do these, do you end up getting every team some FaceTime on your channel? Do you kind of gravitate just towards the better teams?
The first early part of the season, every team gets seen at least twice. So I do 2 schedule blocks. I'll do from about April, the first, from like April till about June or around the All-Star break. I want to get every team in at least twice. Some will get seen a few more than maybe 3 or 4 times because I got to get all the other teams in there. But every team gets seen at least twice. And then after the All-Star breaks, when I cut the wheat from the chaff, and then we just deal with the playoff team, the teams that are in the playoff hunt, till the end of the season.
I kind of like to do that too. Is I like to get my crappy teams sometime early, and then after that, it's like, okay, you've had some time on the channel. Now I'm going to go to the better teams.
Oh, yeah. No, I just felt it was a good idea. I mean, I think Uncle Ron does the same thing. I mean, he likes to make sure that all the teams get their play. And when he does his stream, I'm looking forward to his. I think 1988 is what you got next, Uncle Ron.
Yes.
Okay. And, I did that season an inside pitch last year. Well, actually, I should say early this year. I did that before 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a fun season to do. I'm looking forward to see how yours comes out. I mean, it's funny that Uncle Ron, he uses Action PC Baseball to, play his games. And I use Action PC Baseball at the same time that I'm running my inside pitch because I use Action PC Baseball to get my rosters for the teams on that current day. But nice. I'm also having it simulate. So I'm having it simulate through as well. And I run playoffs through Action just to, I don't play them, but I simulate and I get some very interesting results.
I bet you do. Don't forget that Kuzman, you needed a patch to get Kuzman for 72.
I already got it. I had it taken care of. I think that was you that mentioned that, I think, first. So, so yes, Dave Cook to me is the Chris Davis of customer service.
Yes, he is.
Yes, very good.
That man, you send him an email and he is right on it.
Yeah, always.
Now, speaking about some other gamers here that I consider some of these guys purely baseball guys, but this guy right here has been playing a lot of hockey, the replay gamer.
What up, fellas?
How are you?
How you doing there, TRG?
Hey, how are you, Robert? Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to everybody out there.
How's the hockey going?
I have 22-23 Winnipeg and 22-23 Columbus on the table.
Nice.
That's some dedication there.
Now, what game is that?
Strat.
Strat. Okay.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets were pretty crappy last year.
Now you seem to be
they're
doing
down
the
3-0.
opposite. You seem to be the opposite of me. See, I'm the hockey guy, and I'm enjoying playing and finding all these baseball games. And I think you are the baseball guy, and you're enjoying finding the hockey games. So it's kind of fun watching your journey because I'm doing the same with baseball.
Yeah, I tend to go in cycles.
Speaking about going in cycles, we have to add this guy here because his wife is dragging him out the door.
Uh-oh.
So,
Steve! The Tower of Power.
Hello, and
Here.
Oh my God!
Happy New Year, everybody!
On this channel, holy cow!
Well, all right. I'm representing my alma mater tonight. So go Clarkson Golden Knights.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what that was. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Neither.
That was my one of my New Year's resolutions was to reconnect with my alma mater this year. So, it happenstance that February 17th, Clarkson is playing Harvard in Harvard. So that'll be an interesting night for myself. I am going, so I get to see my alma mater take on my employer. So that'll be
That's
that'll be a lot of
interesting.
fun, but yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
You know, I always wanted to ask Steve something. I mean, Steve, you've been doing this for a long time. As you know, I've only been doing this for about 3 years, going on 4. But I look through your videos, okay, and I see 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Steve, I want to ask you, what made you start doing this? I mean, to put AFR together. I want to know.
Oh well, the reason I started it was when History Maker Baseball came out, and it was a game. It was like, and I loved it, and it was like, oh my god, this is the game I've been looking for. It combines like baseball with role playing elements where players can gain and lose qualities as they go through the season. And then I was like, but nobody is going to cover this game. There is not anyone out there. Like the Dice Tower is not going to make a video about this game. And so I literally stacked some boxes at the end of a table and put my iPad up and turned on iMovie and recorded myself doing a review of History Maker Baseball. And that was why I started it. It was just to get a review up of History Maker Baseball.
I will say that everybody here in the chat room now, I've gone back and seen a lot of your older stuff. Every single person right here, and it's really nice to see how everyone was really kind of stiff back when they first started, and now everybody's relaxed and loose, and I would say everybody here, all 5 of us here, have gone back and seen our first videos, and we're tense, we're tight, we're not making mistakes, and now it just kind of flows. I think it does, and I've seen that out of everybody here, by the way.
I remember the first time I streamed. I think I streamed a game. I think it was Payoff Pitch. It was 69. I think it was a Cubs Mets game that I did. And trust me, I was very nervous when I first started. I mean, I still did okay. I actually watch it once in a while. But you're right, though, Uncle Dave. It really, I was nervous. I didn't know how it was going to be received, how I was going to make sure, how many mistakes I was going to make on the board. But then I started watching some of your stuff, started watching Uncle Ron's stuff, Al Red Sox fan stuff, and see that they sooner or later they flowed through it. They just got, just easily made it smooth. And I said, a little practice and I'll get to it. Now it's like second nature.
Mm-hmm. See, that's why I don't wear my glasses while I'm streaming, because it just looks so bad for me.
Oh, come on. You look so distinguished there, Uncle Ron.
Very distinguished. Yeah.
He is the best. He is the best. I always say, I will say that I said this before, and I'll say this again. Mr. Ron Juckett, you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
Not just this hobby, but as a man himself. Okay. You have my absolute humble respect, sir.
Thank you.
And, you are a heck of a human being. And I wish you only a great 2024, sir.
Thank you. My first stream was this is the second time on camera I've worn the glasses because they reflect.
Now, the last time you wore glasses, you didn't have any clothes on, right? Was that video?
Oh, boy.
Listen,
The
Oh,
OnlyFans? Was that the OnlyFans? Before it was OnlyFans?
it was my
members only. Yeah.
it was my cameo with Pickle Girl.
Wait a minute. How come Steve isn't wearing any glasses? What? All of us, the rest of us, are old and he stays young. Come on.
Oh,
Right? What's up with this?
That's not
I've worn
fair.
glasses
What's
since
up
I
with
was
that?
4.
Don't get old. Everybody here, don't get old. It's the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Yeah, we were just talking before some guys come on how we used to brag about all the things we did on New Year's Eve, and now
That's
on my
right.
Facebook feed, it's all the people bragging
Yeah,
about
now
how
we're
they're
doing
staying
this on New
home.
Year's Eve.
It's
Yeah,
like,
we got no
I can't
life.
wait to stay home and play a game or watch a
Yeah, we have
movie.
no life. We have no lives. We're home on. We're doing this New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah.
Little Professor. I had one of those. Little Professor.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So-
So my first New Year's in the greater Boston area. I don't know anyone that's from around this area. Boston has it's called First Night.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. And so this is pre-children. Oh my God, life was so much different then. So my wife and I, we went there, went to all these different things. We stayed for the fireworks at midnight, and we're coming back home. And it's it's like 1:30 in the morning. They extended all the subways, so we're on the red line going back to Quincy, and all of a sudden this gentleman 2 seats away from me starts talking to himself and just like gibberish, blah, blah, blah. And then he stands up, reaches into his coat, pulls out a knife, turns around, stabs the seat he was just sitting in, and everybody is just like deer in headlights.
Yeah. How could you
Oh.
not?
And then like the next stop comes, the door opens, and thankfully he stumbled off the subway, and it was just like, well, that's the last time we are going to stay till midnight on First Night.
Oh man, yeah, that would be a little freaky.
Yeah.
It was just one of those like, did that really just happen? Oh, I mean, thankfully nobody got hurt. He stabbed the seat and then he wandered off. But yes, So
Wow.
since then we happily have stayed at home for New Year's Eve.
So have you run into ID Jester since then?
Oh, I wasn't going to use real names, but yeah.
Shots fired, man down. Dude.
Brilliant.
Oh,
That's brilliant.
Oh, too
wow.
funny.
Okay.
Ah.
And
Somebody bring in
Swedish
a broom and a dustpan here.
Ronnie Williams. Hey, congrats to your Georgia Bulldogs down there on that big win. Ronnie's one of my friends in Georgia, and he's always posting the temperature in Georgia, and it's like 107.3, and I'm like, why are you posting radio stations on the bank thermostat? He's like, no, that's the temperature down here.
It was colder in Jacksonville, Florida yesterday than it was in Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, yeah.
He said he was coming home from a Stratomatic.
Yeah, probably after ranting that poor company into the abyss.
The good thing the red line didn't stop at Glenhead, right?
Oh, he took it out.
Stratomatic after his rants.
Oh man, that's great. Slash Deep Gaming.
That was good. I like that. That was good.
That was a funny one. So before we let you guys go and bring in some more guests here, we'll start with Robert. You joined first. What are some of the things you're going to be playing aside from your baseball product? What things do you think you might be playing in 2024?
I'm sticking, of course, inside. Now that I'm starting Inside Pitch tomorrow night, that means that Inside Pitch is my exclusive. That, although I'll only be staying with that because I usually like to stick with that. However, I do have some other junk that I wanted to get onto the desk. See, the problem is I don't have a lot of room on this desk of mine. I really don't. I want to get some more games. I can't fit it. I want to get some other stuff on it. I can't fit it. I can get card games like Marvel Champions. I can get some others, baseball and stuff. As far as the other sports, it just took too long to play. That's why, like second season, I'm going to let Steve Tower take care of that. The video games, Action PC and whatever, I'm going to just give that. I'm going to let Ron handle that. Hockey is your baby, Dave. I tried doing hockey at one point. I tried doing hockey. It just took too long, for me to stream. And one time I did golf, and I did a golf stream the final day of History Maker Golf. It took 3.5 hours to do it. I said, no, not again. So
yeah, the History Maker Golf is so fun, but when you do the whole thing from start to finish, it takes me 4 to 5 hours, but it's so good. It's nothing you would stream, I don't think, but I mean, maybe you stream the last round or something like that. But
I tried streaming the last round, and it took the 4 hours. So I figured that if anyone wants to do History Maker Golf, probably use their fast play, maybe to get like the last 9 holes, and then start from there, I guess.
Yeah.
But
the beauty of that game is it's like you're watching it on TV, because you got the last 4 coming behind everybody. And I had one instance where Greg Norman, he was one of the first groups or whatever, and he was kind of hanging around, like 2 or 3 shots back, 4 shots back, 2 shots back, hanging around. And the top group come through, and they all started choking to a point where Norman finished.
Yep.
And he was in first place for a while everybody else was scrambling, and it just felt like you were watching golf. It really did.
I loved it. I think History Maker Golf is great. The Play.com games are top of the line. I've got not a bad word to say about them. I just can't stream them. It just takes too long. So I stick with Inside Pitch, or maybe some cards and dice. I might actually do a card game later tonight around the ball dropping tonight, just to do something, whatever. But I just, Inside Pitch is just my baby. I just look forward to doing it. It's a blast. Mm-hmm. I do it every night. And I'm happy that I got people like you that follow this, that join in the chat. I get some crazy games sometimes, but now right now I think I'm just going to, as I'm starting 1972 tomorrow night, I'll just figure, that's what I'm going to do now for at least the next 4 months. It takes 4 months to do a whole season, including the playoffs.
I find once you get a game that you're playing really well, and you are really good with that game,
you're the master of that.
You like to stick with it, because right now that's where I am with Payoff Pitches. I've figured out how I want to play this game, and I'm just like this with Payoff Pitch, and it's very enjoyable when you're that automatic with the game.
Be very curious to see how the Tigers do for you.
Oh, they should be. I mean, 1972. We know the Reds played the Athletics in the World Series. The Tigers were good. The Orioles were good. The White Sox were good that year too.
I just had the Tigers win the World Series.
Okay.
In fact, I just had the Tigers sweep the Reds to win the World Series.
Yes, in your 72 alternate replay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, someone had asked for the ALCS. Okay, we'll do that.
Right.
And Oakland won the first 2, and Detroit never lost. They won all 3 in Detroit, the middle 3. So we'll do the World Series because it was such a great playoff. And the Reds went 2 games without scoring a run. It was unbelievable. So I think that the Tigers, depending on how they're carded in Inside Pitch, don't sleep on them.
Oh, no. Remember also that I have Fast Score, the Fast Score that I use for the 10-minute ticker, because I don't want to use. That's the one thing about the way I do this. There is no electronics involved at all in a season replay. Mm-hmm. Everything is run by the dice, including the 10-minute ticker. It's run by the dice. Now, of course, Fast Score is what I use for the 10-minute ticker, and of course, it utilizes calculations from the guy that actually makes it, Brian Davis. No relation to Chris Davis, but those two do know each other, and both have been in my chat at one point during a game. And I just rather have the dice do it. I just don't believe in. I just have issues sometimes with the AI in the game engine, and sometimes it could be. I'm not going to say it cheats, but I've seen gaminess sometimes, and I said, you know what? Let the dice decide what's going to happen, and you get a few outliers. But yes, the Tigers could be very interesting.
I wasn't expecting much, and then they win both their series. So
interesting. So, all right, Robert, we're gonna have you exit stage left. We're gonna bring in some more people, but we wanted to thank you for coming by, and we look forward to your next project.
Happy New Year to all you great guys. We'll see you guys next year.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming by.
Bye.
Bye.
All righty. We have another mystery man here joining the show. He was the sponsor for the Cleveland Spiders project.
Oh.
And yes, he is. And so We have Steeler fan.
Wow.
Hello, guys.
Happy New Year.
How's everybody doing? Happy New Year.
New Year.
Good to be on with you guys.
Nice to,
Glad
nice
I
to see
didn't get on with Robert because I talked to him enough.
Nice.
I want to echo, first of all, what Robert said earlier. Ron Juckett, absolutely 100%.
Thank you.
Great respect for that man and great love for that guy. And also, Ron is truly one of my heroes.
Thank you.
And I mean that. I mean that 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
Ron
Happy
was
New
the
Year,
inspiration
everybody.
for a lot of
Replay
people.
Gamer. Enjoy your channel, Steve. I really enjoy the Soccer Blast videos you've done.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys, all of you. Dave, of course, Steeler fans, Buggy Whips, corner of Smith and Maine.
Yeah, that was a fun time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we had Doc Towers Elixir
Yes.
and Uncle
Doc Towers
Ron's
Miracle
Snake
Elixir.
Oil.
Uncle
Yeah,
Ron's
yeah.
snake oil.
Yeah, we had
We
a lot
gave
of
a lot of
sponsors. for
snake oil away at the Buggy Whip shop.
I will
did.
figure.
that was such a fun project, and getting
The pineapple pizza flavor was quite popular.
Glad someone bought it.
now Steve Tower got a new camera, and he looks 10 years younger, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I know. I almost got carded the other day. It was oh boy. So another funny side story. 2 years ago, we took our summer family vacation to Aruba, and the first day we were there, we went to like the local grocery mart, and it was pretty nice. It had like everything you could want, and so they had beer there. So I got a couple of beers. We get up to the cash register. We're going to check out. I hand my credit card, and then the woman says, "I need to see your ID." And I'm like, "Well, you sure do." When I have to like force my license out because it's been so long since I've had to take it out, and I'm so proud. Doesn't my wife turn to me and say, they asked that because you're using your credit card? It's just like, really? You couldn't have let me just have that for 5 minutes,
That's funny. Yeah. I think the last time I got carded was a few years ago, and I said, "You realize I'm old enough to get free coffee at McDonald's, right?"
Yeah. I would get a discount at Ames if they were still in business. Yeah.
Got carded because I picked up some cold medicine.
Oh.
You can buy mouthwash without getting carded, and you can drink that and have a good old time. But if you pick up a thing of Sudafed, oh no, we need to see your ID for that.
Too funny. So Replay Gamer, what's I'm sorry, go ahead, Steeler fan.
I wanted to mention also, if I could, you guys were talking when Jester was on about Glory Days college football.
Mm-hmm.
For about the past 3 years, I've done all the proofreading for Anthony's games, proofreading the cards, proofreading his newer games, the instruction manuals. And I do want to say the pro version that is coming out soon. Just a couple hours ago, he sent me all the files to start proofreading the instruction manual, the cards, and everything. So he's getting very close.
Good. I was the proofreader for the boxing game. So
yes, you were. In fact, when I found that out, Ron, you proofread the instruction manual.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've been doing Anthony's cards. Why is this instruction manual so good?
I had a blast doing it too. Turns out that I've known Anthony for about 25 years and didn't realize it.
Oh, really?
We both were over at the front office football central board.
Okay.
Going back to the turn of the century. And so when I got to meet him through Al and realized that I was already Facebook friends with him and didn't quite know why. And it turns out that, we've actually known each other online for almost a quarter century. So it really is a very small world.
That's interesting.
Have you played front office football 9 yet?
I haven't. I've seen, Pesky Pole has played it.
Yes. I've played a bit. I play differently, I guess, from Pesky Pole. He enjoys coaching the games and going through play by play.
Right.
I enjoy simming the games and just doing the general manager stuff.
I've been playing that game so long. Tim Couch was a good quarterback for Cleveland when the game came out.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, he was not a bust in front office football. But that was pretty much my introduction to this community was through them.
Okay.
So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I have found myself by accident proofreading directions because I will get a new game and I'll read it and I'll find some really weird ways to interpret things. And when I approach the game designer, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll have to fix that."
Yeah.
And so there's been a handful of games that I've read instructions and I'm like, "Why would you do this?" And they're like, No, it's like this. And they're like, "But I can see how you would think that way. So let's clarify that." So I've kind of done a few things like that, RG, what are some of the things that you might be playing next year in 2024? Some different things.
First off, I don't read instructions, so you guys got me there.
Nice.
It caused me a lot of heartache, but I don't. But at any rate, I think this year, last couple of years, I've spent a lot of time and money accumulating things. So I think I'd like to spend some more time with the things I have this year, like revisiting the Strat hockey. I bought that a couple of years ago and then revisited, having a lot of fun with it. So maybe finishing something this year. Got probably 5 or 6, 10, 12, 20 projects going.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we don't know what you're talking about, but
yeah, I say that, and if I'm on next year, it'll be, I spent last year buying a lot of stuff, and so yeah, I think that's what I'd like to do this year. Again, I've got a lot of great games, and you kind of get through the cycle, and so I'd like to go back and revisit some of these, dig into some of these seasons I've bought. So I think that's what I'd like to do this year.
Do you think you'd ever play something like APA hockey or Hockey Bones, you think, in the future?
I don't know, Dave. Again, hockey's it's probably my least knowledgeable sport. I'm enjoying Strat a ton. I mean, I'm really, really liking it a lot.
Great way to learn the game. That's how I pretty much did when I was in college.
That's why I got last year's season, because, of all the sports I would possibly like modern, it would be hockey. And so again, that's why I got 2023. I played the first game of the it was the Colorado and Seattle last year.
Okay,
and that was a lot of fun. Colorado won 3-2, and they won that series, I believe. So again, just you're right. Getting to know the players, and so yeah, you're right. Great way to learn the people and the game.
Yeah, it's a fun time, doing that stuff. But I've been trying to expand myself and learn some new games and different games, and just, the thing is some people I play this game exclusively, and I'm not saying Robert. I mean, there's other people who play like APRA exclusively, a Strat exclusively, and that's fine.
That used to be more of the norm. That really has changed in the last 10 years or so, Dave. It used to be you played either.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that. But for myself, I wouldn't have found so many great games if I had just stuck with one. I mean, and I love shootout hockey, but if I said I'm playing shootout and nothing else, I wouldn't have found APA. I wouldn't have found Hockey Bones. I wouldn't have found Hockey Blast, because I would have played my one game. So I like to try different restaurants, and you never know what you're going to stumble into, and you might find something that's really, really neat,
Well, obviously, I'm going to spend some time with Hockey Blast. I had this random guy on the internet help me with that, so.
Some rando.
Yeah.
Some rando. You should put Toronto and Edmonton out in Strat hockey. I did a best of 7 series, and by God, was there a ton of offense. It didn't help Toronto at all, but
year?
The last year's teams. I did the Bruins and Vegas Cup, and Boston won in 5 after dropping the first one at home. They just zipped. And I did Toronto and Edmonton, and that was a lot of fun. There wasn't a heck of a lot of defense in that series. That was 80s hockey all the way. which is the era I'm most familiar with. So yeah,
Yeah, I know the Denver or the Colorado and the Seattle. Those goalies were pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I got Elvis on the table here for Columbus, and he's very porous.
So is Edmonton. So is Edmonton's goalie, but
where is he? Yeah,
I always love those goalie rating. The goal on the goalie rating out of 7. Like,
yeah. Elvis has got 5, 6, 7, and 11.
Oh,
and so he's
pretty
much. That the WHA. All the goalies are pretty much like that,
right?
But Elvis, he's in the wrong league. But at any rate, I'm gonna again want to play some. I wondered, have you seen the Travis? I think is it Jenkins? The hockey blast card holders.
No.
Jensen.
Huh?
Travis Jensen.
Yeah, Travis Jensen. Yeah, he they're like plastic where you basically can put the cards in and make your lines.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah.
So I got those coming. So that'll probably help me with my hockey blast.
Nice.
But that's what I got planned.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes.
We have our fireworks going off here now.
Nice.
Very festive.
Yes.
Steve Tower, what are you going to be playing in 2024? Anything different that we might see?
I'm going to go ahead and drop off, fellas.
Happy New Year.
RG, thanks
Happy
for coming
Year,
by,
guys.
stopping
Thanks
by.
for having me. See you, Steve. See you, Steeler fan. See you, everybody.
All right. So now that I have my fantastic Elgato Pro overhead. Yeah, that was my big Santa present this year. It basically, so I did a test video last night, which Dave, thank you for stopping by. That was fun, with the Soccer Blast. And so basically now I was able to demote my previous overhead camera to the sidelines, so I can now do a close-up video overhead. So that really opens things up, because now I not only can I zoom with my overhead camera, but then I can show a close-up of cards real time during the show without having to do it before the video, like take a picture of them and have that all set up. And so planning on incorporating that into all of my shows. But on top of that, I really want to try to expand my channel. And a few years ago, I had tried to do a dalliance with non-sports games, and I did a segment called Upon Further Review. And I never really got to expand on that. And so I this year I really would like to do that. And I'm a big fan of the dungeon crawler genre of games, where you miniatures.
Those are fun. Yeah.
So yeah, Shadows of Brimstone is my go-to dungeon crawler. And so at some point in 2024, I would like to do a series where, I don't know, maybe once a month I get Shadows of Brimstone out and set up the dungeon on my table. And
I would watch that, because I'm trying to find a game like that, because the sports games are great, but every now and then you want to find something a little different,
Yeah. And then on top of that, it'll, now I'll be going into my third year of a co-op league with the fictional set for History Maker Baseball. So very much looking forward to that, and guiding my New England Minutemen, hopefully back to the championship game. And then other than that, it'll at some point, Play is going to be releasing their full play basketball game.
Okay.
So that will probably be the first big game that I'll be reviewing and playing through on the channel.
Have you taken Draft Duel out for a spin yet?
What's that?
Have you taken Draft Duel out for a spin yet?
I have. Yes, I did. I did one with just the base deck of it. I do have the expansion now, but I have not gotten it on the table, so I will be playing that. So yes, that is absolutely a fun game. And then I do have to give a shout out to Mike Fitzgerald for his roll and write games of baseball highlights, the dice game, and football highlights, the dice game, which I got for Christmas. And oh my God, I have probably played that combined between the two of them. I probably played it 50 times in the last week. Really, really fun. And it's you actually don't need to enjoy either sport to play them. If you're just a roll and write fan, it helps. But yeah, very, very fun. And it works really well solo. So I did do a video for baseball highlights. I will be doing a show for football highlights at some point. But roll and writes was probably one of my big discoveries of this last year.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So yeah. So I'll be as some of those come up, I'll be rolling those into the channel. So
Speaking about discoveries, I dug really deep and I found this guy right here.
Oh gosh!
hey,
Hey, Dave and Ron, everybody, Steeler
Happy New
fan.
Year!
Steve, Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year!
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Oh,
Good to
good.
see you.
I just walked in the door and I saw this was on. It's awesome. So thanks for having me on, Dave.
How was your hibachi?
Awesome. Every year, 20 years in a row now.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So you figure you can't like go out and tie one on like the old days. So we go out for Chinese every New Year's.
Nice.
That was good. It's good stuff. This is awesome. You guys have a Steeler fan. I don't think I've ever seen you face to face. This is awesome. I've seen you so much.
It's my first appearance, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to be here, though.
Where were you from? Around Western PA, or where were you? Where?
No. So here's the story. It's convoluted. I am actually from Parma, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Now I've lived most of my life in the Houston area. Originally moved to Houston when I was 2. When I was in kindergarten, the Steelers and Oilers were playing in the AFC Championship in '79. And so to upset my older sister who wanted Houston to win, I rooted for Pittsburgh.
Awesome.
Was that the play in the end zone that the guy caught it, but they ruled him out of bounds?
The non-catch, yeah.
Okay, that was the game.
Yeah, the non-catch, yeah.
Yeah. They weren't going to get that call.
The game that Pittsburgh won by 2 touchdowns, and they only lost 4 points, Houston. Yeah, that game.
That's how I became a Red Sox. That's how I became a Red Sox fan, by the way. Not because of the Steelers, but I had all these relatives who were obnoxious Yankee fans. And because I'm from upstate New York. And it's like, no, it just happened to be 1975. And they were in the World Series that year, but that's literally why I became a Red Sox fan, because I had enough at 3 years old of the blankety blank New York Yankees.
Hey, upstate New York in the house.
That's right.
I moved back to Cleveland for 3 years when I was in junior high school, and those 3 years were 85, 86, 87. The Steelers were terrible, and the Browns were winning the division every year, and thank you, John Elway, for keeping them from the Super Bowl, especially while I was living there.
The drive.
So I took some abuse wearing my Steelers jackets and things like that in Cleveland. But something good came out of that 3 years in Cleveland in junior high was I discovered Stratomatic. So there you go.
A good story.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Dave, I'm uploading a map of hockey here right after this chat here. I can only be on for a little bit after my wife wants me to do something with her, but I got a map of hockey uploading soon here. Is it someone on the Delphi asked me to do an original game with the original boards?
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah, you do that once in a while with the original cards, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I got the whole game in on one video, and it was about an hour and a half game, and it's totally stripped down. None of the extra features, but
so you trying the basketball game again in 24?
That was agony, Ron.
I know it was.
That was pain.
That was the triathlon for all of us. Would be the complete run of those games, right?
That was, I mean, 90 rolls a quarter, and like it take like per roll was like 5 minutes. You're like, oh my god, 90 rolls here. So
Like putting a Bengay on the shoulder.
we can say hi.
Now,
I might.
I have stripped down Apple hockey myself. I've really come down to a
It's
point where I'm not playing the dump ins anymore for the line changes. I'm not doing the rare plays. And that is going really fast for me now in the game. And I'm not missing some of the other things. So I've kind of changed the way I play App a little bit myself. And sometimes I play the full thing, and sometimes I just want to just play it and not have to worry about starting and stopping with all the extra stuff,
Oh yeah, this is you'll like it 'cause it's totally stripped down. It's almost like I got inspired by a Delphi guy asked me to do one, and then your Hockey Blast. I was like, I'm totally. That was the closest I ever came to buying a play game was watching your Hockey Blast a couple weeks ago with the Express. You guys had the Hockey Blast Express. It
The
seems so
Express is fun.
intriguing.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You
were playing my season too, the 92-93 with the Canadians, and I was like, this is that's a good way to sell it there. So the pusher you are, Dave. So,
That's what we do. We're all pushes here, and we laugh about it. But we all see monkey do. We see
Yeah.
someone playing, and it's just like, okay, I need to play that as well. And if someone's got either a new
yes.
season or a new game or a new way of playing it, or somebody puts like little helmets on the field, like I got to go get those helmets now.
Yeah. It's you got me on that what'd you get me on that fictional? I was like, I would never play fictional up until you and Ron did that fictional payoff pitch game.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
That is
And-
fun. That little project there, it really is.
Yeah, you guys had so much fun playing that. Just seeing two guys. There's something special about seeing two guys play, like you and Ron. Just like seeing you guys go back and forth. Because I've seen that before with other streamers. Like I think Sportsman Z had like a Strat football game. He was playing with one of his buddies, and it was just so fun to see that
It's
connection.
very enjoyable when we do that, and
Yeah.
we got a lot of feedback on that, and a lot of people want to see us do that again, because it's the one thing that a lot of us here, and I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of us here, we play by ourselves.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
solo.
yeah.
Solo
And
venture,
except for the conventions or the occasional groups that people get together on, but I mean, when we're playing this, so if we get on here on StreamYard or whatever and roll a game and just kind of hang out and have fun, it's almost like we're face to face. And that's one thing that's great about the internet, because you can do that, but it's also stinks that you can't be face to face with people.
Yeah.
I would love to play some of these games with people locally, but they're not there. So when we do them, when we have a couple people on and we do a chat or whatever, that's our workaround, and they get very good feedback. They really do.
Yeah, that was awesome. You guys did that. It cost me $9. I got the PDF.
Gosh,
Which is very reasonable, for that fictional season. So that was my first fictional season ever purchased, that payoff pitch. And I was like, I would never play a fictional season.
And I was redoing the ranges when making subs, is what Dwayne says about basketball. Is Apple Hockey good sim to get for a detail sim? I think so. I think Apple Hockey does a really good job. You get all the shots and block shots and penalties, and you see everything that happens. That's why I really like it. Apparently, Ray said something nice about me for the first time in 16 years. so he said he's going to delete it in a few minutes. So,
Nice.
So Steeler fans, you get to do Strat football seasons for Christmas? Because I know you play a lot of that.
I made a big purchase from Strat for Black Friday, and it included one football season, which was 2019. That was the only one that they currently have that I don't have or didn't have. But I bought 3 baseball seasons, 3 hockey seasons, and I bought new game parts for baseball and hockey.
We're not blowing up the city of Burlington behind me, by the way. Just sounds like that.
Oh, that's you, the fireworks?
Yeah,
Nice,
that's me.
nice. Speaking about fireworks. Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Draft Duel.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I have not played it yet. But I feel like that's going to be a good game that I can get people that don't play these games to play that.
It looks like that was going to be the case with that one.
Yeah, whether they're fantasy football players, which I'm not, because I played Stratomatic way before fantasy football. When I saw fantasy football, I said, I want to make decisions. Or if they're just a card game player. It's just a card game with a football skin. And so I think I can get some people to play that.
Nice.
I actually was through work, met somebody yesterday that said he's interested in learning Stratomatic baseball. So
nice.
Maybe I'll have somebody play face-to-face sometime.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be fun. Hey, we're speaking about fireworks, and what a perfect time to bring this guy in.
Wow.
Hey, PJ.
Hey guys,
How are you?
how's it going?
Nice to meet you.
How's up
Likewise.
in Canada? You're in Canada, right, PJ?
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia.
Oh, I thought you were on Long
Oh,
Island.
you're just a hockey fan.
I used to be on Long Island. I moved to Virginia a couple years
Okay.
ago. I want to get one thing straight with Mr. Gardner there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How do you say that, Dave?
Rakasi.
No.
Recacy.
Recacy.
Harecacy.
Harekasi. I was going to say that next.
Okay.
Very
I know.
close.
When I was on with Replay Gamer, and he was like, "Oh, good, Dave can help me with some pronunciations." I says, "Yeah." Then PJet will correct me.
That combination of letters didn't even look like a word.
Yeah.
Nice.
So So let me say again. Harekasi.
Harecacy.
Harekasi. Harekasi.
I think I had that at a restaurant once.
With pineapple on it, Ron?
No. No.
So yeah, PJet is in the house.
Ron had to get in his obligatory food reference. Now we've got that out of the way.
It's only took us an hour to get there.
That's fantastic. So PJ, what have you been playing lately, and what do you expect to play in 2024?
Oh, and PJ, what jersey are you repping? Because you got the same colors as me. Seals. Nice.
Seals.
There we go. Oh, very nice.
Nice.
I just finished up the 22-23 Bruins playing an 80-game schedule of 5-game series against great teams from the past with Hockey Blast.
Okay.
And it finished up with them. The last series was they replayed the Stanley Cup Finals against Vegas, and they won 4-2, 4 games to 2. So they kind of avenged themselves for the first round elimination to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to think of the next project. I got a few things in mind. So
Who'd you play him against?
I started in year order. I started with the 50-51 Red Wings, and then the 55 Canadians, 61 Blackhawks. I worked my way up, all the way up to the present.
And they did all right. They held their own. Or more than held their
Let's
own?
see. They finished a few games under 500 if you're going by the wins and losses.
Okay.
And they won 7 series and lost 12 series, so they didn't do that good.
You were posting on Delphi, weren't you, PJ? I was reading. Was that on Delphi also?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading some of that. They were getting beat some series. I was surprised because that's a powerful team. The Pasternak card is crazy.
Well, the goalies aren't that good. I mean, compared to some of the goalies on the teams that they faced.
Yeah.
You got Ullmark he only had two play stars, and Swayman had 3. So compared to guys like Jacques Plante, Glenn Hall, Cheevers, all the teams they played had better looking goalies, and, except for maybe like the '80s Edmonton teams with Fuhr and Moog.
Yeah.
So.
I did the Bruins in the Vegas in Strat, and I thought Swayman had a better card than Ullmark. Ullmark got crushed the first game. I went to Swayman in game 2 and stuck with him, and people were going, "Why Swayman?"
Yeah.
Because his card was good.
Ullmark had the better save percentage.
He had the better save percentage, but Swayman kept winning. You don't take out the hot hand.
Go with the hot goalie. Right?
Yeah, you ride him. You ride him.
Speaking of hot goalies, Mike in the truck is
Oh,
hot goalie.
This is like a Hollywood Squares now, Dave. It's getting
We need two
I'll
more
take
here
Tebow
with
in
the
the
Brady
middle,
bunch.
please, for the win.
Now this is the Brady bunch.
This is great. Yeah.
Tebow's
And
house.
I'm gonna claim the Jim J. Bullock squares.
Tebow doesn't look like Joan Rivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Let's
Paul
talk.
Where's Betty White in all this?
Yeah.
It depends on the position of the box.
Yeah, Mike in the truck comes by, and
God help us all.
yeah, he's got the new game, the family football game out. That's
awesome
very,
game,
very
too.
fun. Yep, very, very fun.
Thanks.
Oh, and we got trouble. We got trouble now.
Marco.
Marco.
What's up, everybody?
I feel like
Happy
we've
New
gotten
Year.
to NFL Red Zone. We've got the Octobox going on here.
Well, just click on Uncle Ron. He's the only one we want to pay attention to.
Apparently, I'm Marsha.
Marsha.
Well, we almost have it set up like two forward lines and the defenseman on the bottom there. So
Yeah.
So it looks like Ron's the goalie then.
I'm the goalie. God help us all.
Hey, Marco, that's actually a Blackhawk APA game, hockey game I'm uploading actually right after this call on
Awesome.
APA Hockey.
What year?
So I was thinking about you actually while I was rolling it. Unfortunately, it was last year's team.
Oh man.
Someone wanted me to see the new cards with the old game, and I didn't even know what their record was until after the game. Like, this team's not that good, but
They
I
were.
thought of you though.
Well,
So,
they got the first pick in the draft, and
yeah.
my Christmas present, a Connor
Oh,
Bedard
he's,
jersey.
yeah,
so-
Oh,
he was
nice.
fantastic. Good
Nice.
for that. Yeah.
That's a
Has
sweet
it-
jersey.
Is there a baseball game out there that has in the rare plays fan interference?
I bet
Action-
there is in
Action
History Maker
PC.
Baseball. I've never gone through all of it, but I bet there's something.
it's probably in History Maker. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
So it's like
Somebody
outfielder
did
goes
a homebrew for Stratomatic Baseball for rare plays, and it's 90 pages or something like that, 93 pages.
Whoa.
There's got to be fan interference in there somewhere. But from a game company, I don't know of one.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
because-
I think it's got to be in there, but because of there is more than this Steve Bartman. There's been a lot of fan interference.
There's a hockey rare play, and I was just showing it this morning with that video where the guy comes in his stands to beat up a fan. It's actually in the old APA hockey rare plays. So
That's never happened though.
no, except that one time.
Mike Milbury.
I was
Yeah,
just
he showed
gonna
up.
say,
They
Mike
had a
Milbury
Bruins-
did something like that. Yeah.
They had a Bruins reunion a couple weeks ago, and he showed up and he brought a shoe out on the ice. And it's just-
I know that there is a rare play in History Maker Golf that a fan like interrupts a golfer's like backswing, and then the golfer is what's the word? He's oh my god, I can't believe I'm not remembering he's upset the rest of the round. He's dissident
Stormy,
so,
right?
What's that?
Stormy.
Stormy, yes, yeah, he's storming the rest of the round. But yeah, and I know that happened because earlier in the show, Robert was talking about how he wanted to stream like a full History Maker Golf tournament, and I'll share this anecdote, and then I'll show myself out stage right. That is still one of my favorite streams in my 10 years that I've been doing this. Is I did a full start to finish History Maker Golf tournament. I used the 1980 Pro Set. I called it the Biddy Beer Tournament, and I used the Boston Golf Course, and it was just one of those things. Like I started, and I said, "This is going to take a long time." So, sit back and relax. If you're looking for a quick show, this is not it. And people hung in and they loved it. And that rare result came up that a fan came out and interrupted a golfer in his backswing. And I said, "Oh, somebody came out and said, Baba Booey, Baba Booey." And it was, but yeah, it was so much fun.
Yes,
And,
potato.
yeah, it was. And, but yeah, that was just one of those things that, and it just made it so much better that it happened during a live show. So
Is this
yes,
is this your 10th year?
this is my 10th year. Yeah, August was year 10 for me. So yeah,
Wow.
Congrats.
Yeah.
This is my 8th. This will be
So,
my
yeah,
sixth
yeah.
replay sixth baseball season coming up.
So yeah, I know. I had a little less gray on the side when I first started. So, but yeah. So, all right. Well, and I forgot to mention Dave and Ron. The other thing that I'm looking forward to in 2024 is episode 291 of your podcast.
That'll be in 2026, but
will that be in 2020? Really?
Well, we're on 207 or 208 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, whenever 291 comes up, please reserve me for your.
Oh, absolutely.
So what? You were on 91 and then 191.
191. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of what exit of 291 did you live? Do you live near?
No.
I'm thinking that's Al territory. That's not you.
Yeah. No. So, yeah. So
All right.
Whenever 291 comes up, I will.
Well, hopefully we'll have you on sooner than 2 years again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the way you guys have been going through shows, I just assumed that 291 would be coming up next year. So.
Oh well, only if Dave gets really busy.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, gentlemen and everyone, happy New Year, happy gaming, everybody, and
happy New Year.
We will see you in 2024.
Yes.
Steve,
all right.
so much.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
So David, Ron, tell after further review what he's won as a parting gift.
A year's supply of cremettes.
Yeah, and canned squid.
Rice-A-Roni.
and
pineapple pizza.
And a thing of turtle wax.
Yeah, that was the big thing back in the day during the game shows. Turtle and people were happy about that, you know. You ever seen the thing on the funny things on Facebook now when it says, I now can relate to the people who won the furniture on the game show?
Yes.
Oh, this is awesome, this dresser.
Or that I feel old because of the music that's being played in the grocery store.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I went. Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah.
We had our defunct Grand Union chain back when I first moved out on my own. They would do the Muzak there. And yes, when I started to sing along to what I was hearing, at 20, oh God,
it hit home, didn't it?
It hit home.
Yeah. Frank had a question here from Marco. How are you doing health-wise, Marco? Give us an update.
Not too bad. I actually, right now, I have a pretty nasty head cold, which is why I'm home on New Year's Eve. But besides that, I'm actually doing pretty well, settled in, still doing dialysis every night. Haven't heard anything yet on the kidney situation on a donor, but things are looking bright for 2024. So my wife and I were just talking about how 23 was one of the worst years ever. So I'm so glad that it's New Year's Eve and it's out of here and we can move on to bigger, better, brighter things. So
is there was there a website or something like that where if someone might be a match for you?
Not necessarily, but there is like a questionnaire that I could send out if I have an email. And I mean, I'm gonna start tearing up now if anyone wants to.
I mean, that's
if anyone's asking for that. I mean, that's amazing. One thing, and here I go. One thing that I learned this past year, a good thing that I learned is when in a number of different ways. Number one, when stuff really hit the fan, this community in particular was really there, which was awesome. And second to that is people came out of the woodwork to, hey, I want to donate, or I want to learn more about this, or is there something you need? And I mean, no, we're good, but at the same time, the thoughts, the prayers, the emails that I got, oh my God, it was amazing. It really is amazing. But not to be a downer, we're looking forward to 24. Health wise, everything has been stable, everything's been good. At this point, it's just a waiting game. So, and I want to get rid of this head cold because I really want to make videos and I sound horrible. So
rooting for you 100%, Marco.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do some great videos, Marco. A lot of energy.
That.
It's awesome. So I love your stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really fun watching his channel. It really is. And a lot of people in the chat room are, rallying around you. And
yeah, you're definitely not alone.
Yep. And we're going to thinking about Robert too, who starts radiation next month. is the
luck.
old age stuff comes in. I know my wife's looking at serious surgery next month, I think. Yeah, so we just found out. So yeah, so we're on pins and needles over here as well with a few
second
things.
puberty fun?
Yeah, they say don't get old, but there's really not much you can do about that.
Well, it sure beats the alternative.
Yeah, there's one thing you can do, but yeah, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, we've had some of those conversations during my games. Yes,
We have.
there's one of the undertakers in the town I grew up with had a terrible lisp, absolutely horrible lisp, and he got poked on for that. And he said, he'd had about enough of that. He says, "You keep going, you son of a bitch. I'll be shoving cotton up your ass someday too."
I thought you said list.
No, lisp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah,
see his list.
Are you on that list?
You don't want to see that list of people who made fun of his lisp.
Making fun of his lisp will get you on the list.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, just more people jumping in saying hi.
Yeah. JT.
And JT, thanks for coming by. And Doug, thanks for coming by. Yeah, and that's what we do is we rally around each other. And
I saw
and
Hockey
another
on Real
week,
said hi. I haven't seen him in a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's doing
It's
all right.
nice to see him. He's the guy that got me into Hockey Bones. He wouldn't
Yeah.
give up. I was kicking and screaming, and he dragged me into Hockey Bones, and I'm so glad I did. I haven't played it in a while, but I still enjoy it. As D Scott comes by, good
How
to
you
see
doing,
D
Scotty?
Scott.
Good whisperer.
And VL123 comes by. I like
Happy
that
New
picture
Year.
there. I like that picture that he has. I really do.
Yeah, it is. Northern
That's
Lights.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So, any new games in the pipeline there, Mike, in the truck? I mean, you've come out with, the ultimate solo football game or quick play football game.
Well, I wouldn't say ultimate. I mean, there is competition out there.
Yes.
One thing I want to do, and this is probably going to get a laugh, and I'm not kidding. I pitched this idea to Gary Batts for Pro Strategy Football, and everybody in the group was like, "You got to be kidding me! Don't do that." And after current events with the Detroit-Dallas game, I'm thinking about doing a card and dice game version of it. Okay. What I pitched was a toggle for that game to have just you talking about rare plays.
Yeah.
Something utterly absurd happens. It's a crazy, obvious bad call. And you would toggle on Pro Strategy Football a function called Ref Ball for just up something just you've got to be kidding me, and you get robbed. I'm now thinking of doing a card. I started looking at the principles of it today, doing a card and dice game called Ref Ball. I'm not kidding. And you're out to mess up a game for a team for whatever agenda, like gambling, Vegas odds,
Tim Donaghy,
the more popular team, stuff like that, and throwing in all kinds of craziness like if you're the defending Super Bowl champion, you have odds of getting a celebrity as someone you're dating, which throws other stuff. And I'm not making any of this up. I'm seriously looking into doing something called Ref Ball.
I love it.
And people may think, okay, well, you're talking about Taylor Swift, and I'm taking back to the Jessica Simpson, Tony Romo days as the original. But yeah, there's a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing. It would be a simple card and dice, and it would have to do with the league, Vegas. I mean, we have generic teams, generic players. You would establish out of the gate. You would either roll dice or just pick. This is the defending champion, and then you would go through and play a season, and you're the ref, and you're trying to manipulate everything for the league and or the odds makers. Just doing every kind of absurd, over the top. What do you call it? When it's, I just blanked out on the term, when it's conspiracy-esque. That's
I
what I was
love
looking
it.
for. Just doing something like
I
that.
love it.
It's mindless, ridiculous. Have a laugh. It's funny because it's true, and call it ref ball. Unless, the whole NFL scripted. This will be scripted. I mean, obviously we won't use licensed names, and I would look into see if ref ball is trademarked, and if it's not, I would literally use a name, call it ref ball. I'm not kidding. I'm
love it.
looking into making something like this utterly ridiculous. You have to laugh, but it's true to life.
That sounds awesome.
I
Did anybody
have-
ever? This reminds me. Did anybody ever play Blitz the League, the video game, about 15 years ago?
No, I didn't. but I've
Okay,
heard of it.
Blitz
so-
the league, not NFL Blitz. You're talking
Exactly.
about
So, well, it was NFL Blitz, and then they
Okay.
repackaged it as
I
Blitz.
think
the
I've
League.
seen it. I think I've seen it. Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
the
if I'm familiar
difference
with
is
that
they
one.
tried to combine Madden with Blitz, and before every game, you could bet on your team. You could give steroids to your players.
Oh,
you
interesting.
You could buy off the refs or try to. And if you ever got caught, your team would get fined millions of dollars. But if you won the game and covered the spread and bet on your team, you would get more money in your account to go sign bigger players. And
That's nuts.
Interesting.
I wonder
Yes.
how the NFL didn't sanction
Was
that
this
one.
a licensed game for the
No,
NFL?
no,
I was going to
no.
say.
It was totally fictional. It was a totally
Yeah.
fiction. I think it only lasted 1 year. I'm gonna Google this. I think this was around.
I think I
06,
have it
07.
over here for the PS2 somewhere.
Let's see, Blitz the
No
League.
joke. I know I had Blitz the League over there
That's
somewhere.
hilarious.
I think that
2005,
game,
October 17th, 2005. Yeah.
That was
yeah,
a
I think
PS2
that's
game.
the game that
Wow.
the Atlanta quarterback was Ron Mexico, because that was the name that Michael Vick
Michael
was
Vick.
using
The dog
Yes.
fighting.
when he stayed at a hotel.
apparently-
Yeah.
And apparently, my brother told me this. I don't know if it's true, but if you try to do a
I might have
jersey with number 7 with the last name Mexico on the NFL shop, it would not let you do it. It would deny you the ability of making
Oh,
that.
of course it. Yeah. Interesting.
There's one jersey I do want to make.
Okay.
And there wouldn't be any. It would just be for people in the know. I want to make a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, an old school from the 80s. The jersey number is 010, not 2. And the name is QB Eagles. So if you know what that is. And if you don't, Tecmo Super Bowl. That
So I
was Randall
found
Cunningham because of the. Oh, he found it.
no, Blitz 2002, and then I have Blitz Pro, and then I have Blitz 2003, and then after all that, Blitz the League.
There it is.
Wow.
Wow.
Win
Right.
at any cost.
They
I'm
lost.
going to have to
I'm-
research that because I don't want to infringe. Excuse me. I don't want to infringe on somebody else's idea. So I would want to do something that was probably going to be in the same vein, but not
No, I
infringing
think
on something that's already been made.
I think the ref ball thing is different enough
I
because
love it. Yeah.
with the Blitz the League, it was more about the underbelly of football of like, this is what the league is really like that no one wants to tell you, like, and it's obviously it's bogus, but it was for fun. What you're talking about is perhaps taking on the role of a ref and how do we screw this up?
Right.
That's fun. That's
make
hilarious.
it topical, make it
Right.
absurd, make it over the top, conspiratorial, but at the same token, you're like, there's truth to this. You have the feel of it feels like there's truth to this. And
That's
just do it
interesting.
so absurd, who can argue with you?
That's true.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to welcome in Alan, who
Hi,
snuck him
Alan.
in over here. Hi, Alan. Thanks for joining us here.
Hello, Alan.
Great. Happy New Year, everybody. I want to
Happy
thank
New Year.
first Dave and Ron for doing this and for everything that you do for the community. It really is great to have this. Until about a year ago, I thought I was just a crazy old guy who plays some of these games. And, my kids never understood that. And, my wife says you're playing toy baseball again, which has a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
We're
But
still
then-
crazy old guys. I mean,
Yes.
So it's really been great to watch all the different videos and the regular podcasts. I've really enjoyed it. And you've introduced me to a lot of games I never would have known existed. Like I'm regularly playing payoff pitch now, the 1977 Red Sox and Mets going through their season.
Nice.
And most recently, season ticket after watching Dave push that extensively. And what I'm doing is I'm playing 1969. After you had that guy on who wrote that great book about the Washington Senators.
Wasn't he wonderful?
It was great. I'm
wonderful.
replaying I just started replaying the Washington Senators season from '69 in season ticket. And
Nice.
also, in terms of hockey, also Stone Cold Hockey, I never would have known existed.
Yeah.
And I played a whole season a couple of years ago with the Cards of the LA Kings and Flyers. And now I bought the computer version, and I'm playing around with last season on that. So
Nice.
you've introduced me to a lot of stuff that I'm playing, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do, and seeing a lot of faces on here that I've seen videos from, and everybody comes to life like magic.
How far along are you with the Mets in '77?
About 40 games in. I'm about 10, 15 games away from when they get rid of all their good players in '77.
Yes. So August 9th against the Cardinals was the first ball game I ever went to. I was there.
Really?
I had the chicken pox. I was 5. In me and 10,000 angry, pissed off Mets fans were there to watch them lose to the St. Louis Cardinals. But I got to see Lou Brock steal a base. So yeah,
nice.
so yeah. So the first game I ever went to was at Shea.
The
I
chicken
used
pox
to go
were
to a lot of
terrible, weren't they?
I grew up in New
Yeah.
York. I live outside of Philly now.
Okay.
But I used to go to a lot of games at Shea. My father was a milkman, and they had the Dairy Lee Milk Company.
Yes.
And they used to have on the milk cartons, you could cut out coupons that you could, if you collected enough of them, you could get a free general admission upper deck ticket. So having the insider, with him being a milkman, he would go to the guys on the loading dock and bring home pallets of flattened out cartons. So all you had to do was cut them out one after the next, so you could go with your friends and get tickets for free to various like afternoon games against the Padres in the summer, which did include the only game of significance I ever saw, which is when Tom Seaver struck out the 19 guys.
Oh, in '70, yeah.
Which at that time was the record.
Alan, I'm
And of
afraid
course,
we're
that was the
losing
one
audio.
time I didn't keep score at the game.
Oh, no.
I went to a bunch of games that season too at Shea. The Mets.
One of the games I went to as a kid in the '70s in Atlanta, I forgot who the Braves were playing, but we witnessed a triple play.
Oh, wow.
And the
Oh,
Braves
wow.
were terrible that year. But we witnessed a triple A, and the PA announcer eventually came on and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the youngest players to ever successfully conduct a triple play." I don't know
Oh, wow.
where they got that stat from, but it was like the youngest in history, at least at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in the '70s some point. I don't remember the year. But hey, folks, I'm gonna run. I
Okay.
appreciate you guys let me pop in. I'm gonna have my cell phone with me with a Bluetooth, so I'm gonna try to listen in for the later on this evening. So I'll be listening to you. Might leave a message or two, but I appreciate it. And if I don't talk to any of you guys in the next couple hours, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mike.
All right. Thanks
See
for
you,
coming
Mike.
by, Mike.
Everybody have a good night.
Happy New Year, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to step away as well. I've been on here way too long for you. But I appreciate you having me on. And I'm a guy that started playing these games as a junior high kid in '87. And I played pretty solidly on the table until about 2000, and kind of fell away from it. I was entangled in wedded bliss at the time. That's over. But also just career, my daughter, things getting away. I rediscovered the joy of the cards and dice during the pandemic, the lockdown. And I don't remember if it was Ron that I found first or Al, but it was one of the two. And that got me to pull my things out of the garage, start playing again, and really enjoying it. I have some 2022 baseball on my table right now. So I want to thank the content creators, but also the community as a whole, because there's a lot of really good people in the community, and enjoy being part of it.
Well, we always
we
enjoy
appreciate
you
that.
coming into our stuff. So
Yeah, it's it's not only the people on the YouTube, it's the people in the chat room too that make it really fun, that we interact with and make it a fun time. Let's put it that way.
We had a lot of fun with the spiders, Dave.
We did.
Oh yeah.
We had a fantastic time with the spiders. But thank you for
Anyway,
coming by,
thank you,
Steeler fan.
everybody. Yeah, thank
right.
you, everybody. Happy New Year. Hope it's prosperous. Good health for everybody. And I will see you guys around.
see you soon.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And we have another baseball fan here. We have David coming by here. Thanks for jumping in, David.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Actually,
Nice to meet you.
He's got the hockey in the background going. That's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm on some sort of delay.
No, you sound all right. No?
Let me get the there. Okay. Sorry about that. I had the YouTube going, so
that'll do it.
there was two things happening at the same time. Hey, Dave and Ron, thank you so much for doing this, and I'm a big fan of basically everybody up here. Yeah, that's me, RJL. This year has had so many challenges for us all, and I know my daughter and I have had a lot. She had open heart surgery in May up at Mayo Clinic. She came through that like a warrior.
Awesome.
I was hospitalized in August, and I'm through that. Everything is really good now. And I wanted to thank basically everyone in this community for helping me through it and getting me back into gaming. I was into gaming when I was, in junior high and high school in the mid 80s. And it brought all the fun back, And Marco, go Hawks, man. I think you're in Chicago, so I want to say, hey, P-Jet, Tebow, just everybody, thank you. And I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, but I got nothing to promote. I don't have a channel. I'm just a regular fan who wants to say hi and thank you.
Thank you so much for coming by.
That reminds me something you said, David, too, how like these guys like Dave and Ron, all the content guys get us through tough times. And I think back in the last, I remember first seeing Ron's videos in 2017, and I would just start a new job, and it was really hard, and I had like a half-hour break, I remember, and I would catch Ron's videos. That would like just brighten up my day for that half an hour. You were doing an 82. You're right. The tail end of that 82.
My first
thing
year.
you were doing.
First year doing it.
And I remember I was real sick earlier this year, and there was a guy doing strat videos, shrimp trawler, and I couldn't even. I was so sick I couldn't even play. I had like stomach ailments, and I could just watch videos. And I just think like those guys, like even though you can't play, like these community guys get you through that. It's almost like you're playing, and it's just a good thing. It's just like we kind of just feed off each other and like kind of help each other out. And, it's just great stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate coming by, and
Yeah.
It's that's a great thing about this community. As people said tonight, we all go through our ups and downs, and it's just you lean on people, and whether it's chatting or gaming or whatever it is, it's just people just kind of rally around each other, and that makes it fun. I mean, I know in 2020 I was unemployed and out of work and out of my mind, and the community was there for me. At that point,
Now you're just out of your mind.
I'm just out of my mind. Speaking about out of our
Thank
mind,
everybody. I'm gonna clear out and make room for somebody else.
All right, Alan, thank you for coming by, and Happy New Year too.
Happy
Thanks
New
for
Year
coming
and
by.
good health to everybody. Thank you.
All right,
I'm out too, guys. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, David.
And I appreciate it. Oh, and Ron, that Buffalo, Kansas City.
Oh yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Stratomatic thing is the best thing I've seen on television just in the last year. That was incredible.
It was uncanny how that game came out.
It was so fun. I watched that multiple times, and I laugh. You let out a yelp at the end of that makes me crack up every time. It was so entertaining, and thank
I'm
you.
glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, David. All righty. And joining us, Philip Reynolds.
Hey, good to see you
Hey, Philip.
guys. I'm in Studio J tonight. I'm at my cousin's babysitting the dog. So I'm not at home, so I'm on the road as well.
Would you use his headset?
Huh?
Use his headset.
Yeah. I have to use a headset because if I don't, what happens is you won't hear my voice because it has something to do with my computer. I don't exactly know what it is.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have to have a side camera because I don't even have a front facial camera on my computer anymore. So, but I wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody, and especially Marco. Your stuff is really good, and Dave and Ron always have good stuff. I'd had one of my biggest disappointments this year with I was playing a History Maker Baseball Express. I got to the 9th inning, and guy gets a single. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the bad part. I mean, I can live with a shutout. No problem. The next guy up hits a home run, and it's like, really? I don't even get the shutout. Oh, but there's more guys. There's more guys. Guess what? I went back and I looked at the video. Guess what I did? I made a mistake in the bottom of the 9th, and there was somebody in the Yankees that should have batted, but I didn't have him bat. So I could have gone back and said, "Hey, wait a second, guys! I made a mistake," and tried to replay from that point on, but I didn't because the Yankees were up 14-0. It wasn't going to change any outcome of the game at all. And the thing is, that was my second time that I've gotten close to getting the perfect game.
Ooh.
So anytime I get like 6 to 7 innings in, and one team has no runs, no hits, playing History Maker Baseball, oh man, it gets you that when I realized that I almost had a perfect game, that was I was so hyped up. I would have been yelling and screaming, and my neighbors would have heard it. And that, but that's the one thing I was so disappointed. Came that close, and not only did I come that close, I messed up that close, and it didn't, but I hear, I've asked people, how close they've gotten, and somebody said, like, I've gotten eight innings doing strat. I have a feeling that with this History Maker Baseball Express, I can do it because you're not playing every guy at the plate. I mean, it's going to be harder with strat, but with History Maker Baseball, I think it is possible. Has anybody done it?
I've never
Guys,
had a card and dice no hitter.
If you have, put your name in the chat. I'd like to see it, the video myself.
And Gardner gets the no hitter, and he's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Those of us who have been doing this for 30 some odd years, who were killed for that. It Gardner gets it. Oh, I'm testing out a new camera here.
I was testing a new camera. I just rolled into and it was a good team I beat too.
The thing is,
the 88 A's is who you beat.
I'm doing this quest for 61. I'm replaying the Yankees 61 season. I have 6 shutouts in this season. I have 6 shutouts. Oh, wow. And I'm getting ready to go through my 4th set of umpires, and I've just finished game 70. So I'm due to go through based on that on 7 sets of umpires, and the one that when I do the next game, that's the 4th set, so that's halfway through. So But I just I'm looking on playing Hockey Blast this year. I've got it. I've got to print out some PDFs that I want printed out. And I went to Staples to just figure out what it would be for them to print them out and cut them all out for me. And that, guess how much, guys?
It's expensive.
geez. Yeah.
It's like $200.
Oh
I
yeah,
could
if you
get-
want, yeah.
If you want
I
your
could
card
get-
stock,
It's like
yeah.
Yeah,
$1 a sheet with for cards, right?
Yeah.
it's $3 a cut, and you're talking to put it in the the History Maker baseball type
Oh.
cards is what they are, and to have them cut out, it's just they said it would be like about quoted me for about $250.
Oh yeah,
Canadian.
those places are ridiculous. Yeah.
And speaking of $250, Steve Tower, could you get me 2 of those Elgato Pros? I saw how much they are. They're like $300. I want 2 for next Christmas, Steve. So put me in the books, will you?
As long as you're in a given mood, I'll take one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, see, that I can't even show you my camera, but I have camera, but it's like $30, and I really need to get one more because I really want I just need one more. So, and then the next time I get cameras, I want to get the 1080 cameras.
Nice. P-Jet, I got a question for you, P-Jet. You were the Strat player for a long time, and you've kind of come over to the play games. Talk about that transition from Strat to play games, and what are you liking about the play games versus the Strat games?
Well, I bought the first Strat game the first morning that it went on sale in November '79. Showed up on Strat's doorstep that morning with 2 of my friends, and we had the first games. And that was the only hockey game that I knew. I wasn't aware of Face Off or Nagamco or any of the other ones, which I'm surprised because I was subscribing to the Hockey News, but I just never saw ads, for those other games. So, I mean, I had some issues with Strat, but since it was the only game, that's all I played until I got online, like around 2000. And I found, the Delphi forums, and I got Inside the Crease and Shootout and Hockey Blast, which is like, my big 3 right now.
Yeah, interesting. Because I know that you've come out and now you're playing History Maker Baseball, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty much finished with Strat. I have no desire to go back and play that.
And Andrew had 1 no-hitter. And Apple Brian says him and Sportsman Z had no hitters on consecutive days.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey Dave, I'm gonna jump. Let some other folks on here. So, but you guys, I'm gonna watch you guys downstairs. So.
All right.
All right, Tebow. Thanks for
All
coming
right,
by.
see you guys. See everybody.
Bye-bye. Well, that means we got room for 1, so we need to add.
I'm on the first line now.
It's the pesky poll.
What's going on,
I
guys?
got Ron
Good to see you.
centering me and Dave.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's great to be on, but everyone's been saying kind of the same things. I found you guys about 40 shows into your podcast, and what I loved, I'm a big podcast person. I'm a podcast junkie. I listen to my podcast nonstop, and I love the idea that I just binge the podcast. Like every day, there's a new episode to me. And I would I would text you guys sometimes, but an episode you guys did like 4 months earlier, like, oh yeah, I play, and then and it was kind of disappointing when I kind of got caught back up, like, oh no, I'm all caught back up. I'm kind of, I missed, listen to a show every day or 3 shows a day, and so that's kind of how I first discovered you guys. Well, I discovered on YouTube first, and Ron and Al and Dave, and I joke around with Al and Ron about how much money they've cost me just from looking at games. And Dave, it's pretty cool. the three I watch everyone on here, but Dave, Ron, and Al are probably the three I watch the most on YouTube, and all for different reasons. Dave's kind of like the professor. Like I go to Dave to learn a new game. Like I want to try a new game. I want to see if I like it, and we see how I play it. Al is just entertaining. Like this makes me laugh, and just like he can make a game I have no interest in exciting. And I'm not a big boxing fan at all, but listening to Al do boxing is just hilarious. And then with Ron, like I'll tell you, I will listen. I hardly ever watched YouTube channel on Ron's channel, but I put his channel on while I'm doing work around the house or grading papers and listen to it as a radio broadcast to his baseball games. It's like Vin Scully. I just sit there and I probably have watched actual footage of the game, probably about 10 minutes total. Okay. But just listening to how the game, and I'm looking forward to the 88 season. But so it's pretty cool to have kind of, my go-to, what I'm trying to do. So, thank you guys for what you do.
So it's like Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Yeah, it really is. It's like different. It's different. What I'm in the mood for. So I get a lot of. I'm really productive with Ron. I put Ron on, and I can get the dishes done. I can get the papers graded, and it flies by. And then Al's my late night guy. I'm a night owl. I'll put him on late at night, and then when I go and see, I've got a new game. Let me go see if Dave did a video on this, and sure enough, Dave's got a how-to video, and I'm like, see if I can get that. So, I mean, it's pretty cool in terms of what you guys do. So I appreciate.
Well, one thing we do here on the channel, Pesky Paul, is we grant Christmas wishes.
That's right.
And I'm granting you a Christmas wish right now.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Peekaboo. Works for Wyatt.
So
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. I got a nice note from someone last week.
Can't be about me.
No, not you. It said some very nice things, but the whole gist was I helped him get a good night's sleep. I literally put him to sleep. And he was being very complimentary about the whole thing. But, I'm thinking my wife would go, yep, Ron, you've been putting people to sleep for a long, long time.
Well, I mean, oftentimes, Ron, they compare you to Vin Scully. You've got that Vin Scully kind of tone.
That West Coast voice.
And I used to, back when Vin was doing games, I had the Major League Baseball package. I'd watch the Red Sox game, and then I'd fall asleep to Dodger games. I'd put the Dodger game on, and I just would doze off, him telling me a story about the pitcher. And here's, Tim Leary, and he's from, and so it has that, appeal. I don't fall asleep to you because I'm usually doing work around the house. I'm doing the dishes and cleaning up after 4 kids and all that stuff. But, so I get stuff done.
Well, Vinny,
that's what I do. I put on YouTube and I go to sleep with, everyone in the community on. It's like I used to listen to hockey games, and now, no joke, I'll put it on at night instead of a hockey or a baseball game, and I'll have someone playing payoff pitch or inside pitch or or anything like that. It's fun just going to bed listening to your friends. It really is.
I don't fall asleep after my games. I wonder why my field goal kickers miss field goals at the end. I wonder how. When there's probably less than 1% of a chance on a Hail Mary to work in a game that was the Hail Mary game, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And the little animation goes up and the play is already determined, but I've played pro strategy football so much. I kind of understand, like you just look and you see, and as the ball's going up, and in my mind, I'm like, I've won this game, right? I've got revenge. We get the Hail Mary and I'm going to stop it. And I see like the little defender a little too far away. Now at the end, they do the chicken cluster thing where they go and they all get there, right? But I'm sitting there and I listen to it over because I said to myself, did I actually say what was in my mind going, oh my God, he's going to catch it? And I did. I said, he's going to catch it.
You said something about if he catches this, I'm going to, and I forget what you said.
I'm going to.
Jest that it's like, he's not going to catch it, but if he catches this, I'm going to, and I forget what it was. And he caught it.
I wrote to Carrie Batts. I wrote to my senators. I mean, as ineffective as they are, I wrote to my senators saying, what's going on here? But that was, I don't fall asleep after my games. I sit there and I go, I find new horrific ways to lose in that game. I'm in shock when I win.
I think I predicted one of your football games one time. I forget if I said the Cowboys are going to go down and miss the field goal, or the Cowboys are going to go down and hit the field goal, and this was like with 3 or 4 minutes left.
Oh yeah,
and they went down, and it played out exactly as I predicted.
First of all, get back. Happy New Year to one and all. Pesky
Happy
Paul,
New Year.
Philip Reynolds, Marco, PJ, Ron, Uncle Dave, of course, Uncle Ron. But that I've had so many funny games in that Pro Strategy Football. It's just, and it's fun interacting with the chat and stuff, and it's fun. It's fun to have people there, and I like to thank everyone who comes to our streams or checks out our videos. I like to thank them greatly. I like to call them the FOC, friends of the channel, friends of the community. Mm-hmm. You just show up and you have fun. You forget for a little bit, because life is hard. Life is hard, and we all get through it, no matter what. So
the cool
thank
with
you
that
very
game,
much.
The mods, the community that does the uniforms and the football fields.
Mike from the truck.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why I played that game, because I played the 1980s, and it feels like I'm 12 years old again, watching NBC with Don Criqui and Bob Trumpy and like Bob Costas in the studio, and like that's what makes that game to me is the graphics. Is because it looks. I'm playing the Patriots with the old Patriot uniforms and the Jets and in the Meadowland. It just it brings you back to that. So I never play the modern seasons with that, because that's not why I'm playing it. I'm playing it because I want to feel like I'm 12 years old again. So right. I mean, it's kind of that's the ultimate game for that.
I have a question because I've never talked to P yet.
Yo,
what's your favorite season to play or team?
What sport?
Whatever sport.
Oh well, what team? Right there.
The Seals. You're a Seals guy. I couldn't tell if that was the Bruins because of the cup. I couldn't tell if it was green or black. So the Seals. What is our obsession with playing certain bad teams? Because it's fun. You sit there and you go, I swear I'm smarter than they are. I can get 5 wins. Right, Philip? You sit there and you go, I can get 5 wins. Well, and you're sitting at 3 with 2 games to play, and you're sitting there going, I'm not going to get 5 wins. This team sucks. There's a reason why they only won 3 games.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Al, because I've been doing the Stone Cold Hockey fictional set.
Yeah.
And I got like 7 wins with the Dayton Bombers, and now I'm doing Madison. I haven't gotten back to it, but I think I've got like 5-6 games left, and I need to win 7. I'm trying to beat that record, and I got to win practically all the rest of the games in order to even and have a shot of trying it.
So Uncle Dave, Tampa, right? 76 Tampa. Ron, what's your favorite worst team? Any Montreal Canadian team now, right? Too rough.
2021 Canadians?
Yeah, I mean, we fired the coach with the 320 winning percentage that made the final. No, I would say that probably. I grew up a Red Sox fan. I grew with the Giants. The Bengals had some horrible.
Giants had some bad teams.
Don't mention my home team, will you?
So, I kind of. As far as I don't really play those, as far as root, whenever if Montreal wins, I'm thrilled.
Pesky Paul, favorite bad team.
Well, I never understood the idea of playing bad teams, and then but then like I was like, I don't get it. I like playing teams that were either really really good or teams that are close to winning it all. The Red Sox have tons of teams like that, but then when I was a little kid, I liked the Knicks, the Ewing years. And so I started playing the 85-86 season with the Knicks, and they were horrible. And
is that Ewing's first year?
That was Ewing's first year, rookie year. They won like 26 games, but we had MSG at my house, and I'd watch every game. and just Trent Tucker and
Trent
Gerald
Tucker.
Wickley and Lewis Orr. And so I
Lewis
started
Orr.
playing this, and I had the most fun. And the first game of the year, we're playing the Sixers.
Oh,
With Barkley and Irving, and I have a 19-point lead at the half. We're all hitting Rory Sparrow's on fire. Trent Tucker.
I remember all those names. I watched them on Channel 9.
And then that lead starts to kind of dissipate a little bit. It's down to 6, and I lost at the buzzer on a Charles Barkley putback.
Oh.
But I had the most fun. I was like, I went to play the next game. We lost by like 19. But like so, and then I went and played. I'm a Carolina Gamecock alum, and if you remember, the Gamecocks went 0-11 back in 1999, and so I started playing that season, and we won the first game of the year. And in real life against NC State, we lost 7-3 in a rainstorm. We actually should have won the game. We fumbled like 4 times into the 10-yard line. And this time we went in overtime. So we went 1-0, then we lost the next 8 in a row. And so I kind of got the appeal of playing the bad teams. I never got it. I was like, why would you want to do that? But I can kind of got the appeal of playing those bad teams.
Marco, what's your favorite bad team? I'm just curious. I always like to ask those questions.
Yeah, no, I'm not a bad teams player either. I'm on Pesky Pole's side there, but I would say probably it's got to be like the late 90s Bears, like the Wani Bears or the Dick Duran Bears that like were okay, but not good and always lost to the Packers. And I just, like those years I would probably have to go with.
Yeah. I like to play the Mets. Why? I don't know. And I love my Whalers. But the one I play the team the first year they were in the they weren't bad actually. They weren't. It's funny. I forgot because the hockey guys, Bobby Hull was on that team for like 5. He played 5 or 6 games because I'm fooling around playing. I'm looking at the roster going, oh my God, Bobby Hull. And I went online to look for like like a photo of him in the Whalers. I was like, oh my God, Bobby Hull. Anyway, I just wanted to stop by and say hello. And that's all. And Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who comes and watches, not just my channel, but these wonderful content creators. We love having you there. We've built together, all of us, whether content creators, excuse me, or viewers who come into the chat or just watch. We've built a really fun community.
Yeah.
And if you're in the chat of anyone's stream and you've never jumped into chat and you want to, do it. If you want to leave a comment on anyone's video, right? And you're just like, well, I don't know, do it. We're a positive community. We're a fun community. And I like to thank Uncle Dave, Uncle Ron, P-Jet, Pesky Pole, Philip Reynolds, Marco Scola, the wonderful people in the chat who I've seen a lot of them in my streams and in everyone else's. I like, what I do before I leave, because we're going to go play cards until midnight. Oh, Timmy.
Hey, it's Tim.
Tim. Happy New Year.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna head on out of here. I gotta finish the second half of my Christian abiding in Christ message tonight. I want to anyway.
Right.
I was only able to get part of it done. I'm gonna finish the rest of my New Year's Eve message. And Marco, good health in 2024. Keep it up, guys. Al, as far as me, would have to be the Cubs as far as worst team.
Oh, I forgot to ask. I'm sorry. I skipped over.
Yeah, that's all right. I'd have to say the Cubs. That's in baseball. In football, it has to, no doubt in my mind, it has to be the Bengals. I mean, they're just
yeah.
Except for those 2 times
Super
when
Bowl.
they went to the Super Bowls, and I did see that
3 now.
I did see that your Tecmo type bowl game recently
Turned the ball over. I think 4 times. Killed us.
You couldn't get them to win. Come on.
I tried.
If you're gonna do it,
And my kicker. Funny thing about that game, and I'm going to leave. Dave, you weren't there. I was laughing because I'm thinking to myself, where's Dave? Where's Uncle Dave? The farther he was away, the better he kicked. So I literally went, if I get like 4 yards, his percentage goes down to like 7. I literally like ran a dive into the line. I'm like, please don't pick up any yards. Please don't pick up any yards.
Yeah, Breach was not great.
You guys take care.
Thank you.
Everybody have a 2024.
Happy New
Hey
Year.
Tim, I do like your Indians strat stuff. It is good. It is
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
My game that I'm wanting to learn in 2024 is Hockey Blast. I'm looking
Nice.
forward to Legends of Boxing 2, which guys comes out March, April, I think. The other one that I want to get probably won't be out until Christmas, and that's Soccer Blast Express. They did mention it at Christmas time, this Christmas time. I don't know when. The only thing, only reason why I might not is they don't, the play doesn't have a lot of the MLS sets like the Stone Mountain Press does. I like the MLS sets, so that's the reason. And I was looking because I've been watching Steve Tower play his Soccer Blast games lately, and it's good. I'm understanding it a little bit more that the goal stuff is stuff I still have the problems with that game. Yeah, you're great. Al, I think you could replace Howard Cosell for boxing, definitely. And I have to say, I love to see when you roll a 20 in anything, and you got and you need any number but 20
That's
to get it done.
That's
Well,
like
a
my
wonderful
nickname.
evil D20, as everybody says, like evil D20.
That when you get,
I don't have to worry about that, Philip, with Appa.
That look, that look that you get is just phenomenal. It's like, you've got to be freaking kidding me! I need anything but that number, and it comes up. Yeah. There is somebody that's I know watching that I want to say hi to, and that's John Wise. He's in my quest for 61. He's currently leading my Yankees with 20 home runs. He's in a cold spell. The only thing that's disappointed me with that so far is that Maris is out until game 131, and he will have like 42 30 something games to get 42 home runs, and it's looking like it's impossible. I mean, I would have to roll worse odds than Al on a 20 in order for him to
I don't know if you
Just
see
have
that.
Al roll the dice for you. Have Al roll the dice for
I
you.
can do it. I can do it.
Well, you all
Anyhow.
take care. I'm out of here.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Before I leave, I have to ask Tim, what's your favorite worst team to play? Because then I'm out of here.
Sadly, I don't think I've played enough. I'll tell you what, the best of they did play two bad team replays. I did enjoy the 2016 Twins when I played them, because at least you got to see, hey, future looks pretty bright for them. And I actually did start with an 8-game winning streak for them, and then they decided to remember who they were with the dice.
Al, before you run off, I thought of you so much when I did the Ollie Lewis fight.
You did a good fight. Ron, I have to send you a file with photos.
Oh, please do. Please do.
I have that. I wanted to tell you that, and when you said that, I just
was unbelievable. You know, one of the things I had done I think I did a Rocky.
That's a very good game too.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. But Ali needing to win those rounds and then doing that was so much fun.
Quick, Michael Canastari. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah,
Quick, one
Michael's
last
got a
another.
new
You want to say
channel
hello to
on
Michael?
here. We want to say hi to Michael for sure tonight.
Yeah.
How you doing, Al?
Steeler fan was on here, and Anthony Crooks, very close, actually pretty much done with the professional football game, and it plays much more like the engine plays much more like Glory Days boxing. He so all of his games coming out are going to be like similar type engine. So be on the lookout for that, and that'll be on sidelinestrategies.com. Thank you once again, everyone, all the content creators. God bless you all. Happy New Year. Thank you for having me on. I'm gonna go see if I can win cards now and wait up and bring in the new year with my family. God bless. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Yeah, gentlemen, I'm out of here as well. I got to run off, but it was great
All
hanging
right.
out.
Hey, Marco.
Happy New Year, everybody. Love you all. Thanks for
right.
thanks
Love
for
you too,
hanging
buddy.
out and checking out the channel. And you all do awesome work. And can't wait to see what everyone has in store next year.
Yes,
Guys,
thank you, Marco.
I'm gone too. I had to go. I run to the store real quick with my wife. She forgot something at the grocery store.
Ah,
So,
You guys got grocery stores open on the East Coast until 10 o'clock? You lucky
yeah,
guys.
we have them open here. So I'm heading out and doing that. But it was great to join you guys. Happy New Year, and I'll be on your channel soon, I'm sure.
yes.
So bye, guys.
Happy
Thank
New
you so
Year.
much.
See you, everybody.
Bye, Marco.
Yeah.
You cleared the room, Tim. What happened?
I sadly have that effect sometimes, I guess.
Now Michael's joining us here. Michael, you started up a new channel, correct?
Yeah, I did. I
Oh,
did.
fantastic.
It's called Another Replay Guy. Hooray!
Okay.
I like
Too many
the
of those
title name.
E's.
Yeah, I was checking
No.
out somebody said, now you're playing History Maker Baseball right now?
That is correct. I'm playing the 73 versus 98 anniversary set franchise tournament, and we're going to see which team comes out of the 73-98 series. It's a nice card set by Play, and I'm enjoying that. In fact, a little later I'll be playing Game 2 of the Boston Red Sox series.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm slowly getting into the play games. The Hockey Blast Express, I enjoy that. PJ, have you played the Express version of that yet?
Yeah, I played a handful of games. I think I had sent you a message about it. The first couple of games, I had like very high scores. I had a 13-11 score.
Yeah.
And then I replayed the 57-58 finals between Montreal and Boston, and no one scored more than 5 goals. So no one scored more than 4 in the game. So I don't know what happened in the first couple of games I played. I mean, I know I was playing it right, but yeah, I'm probably going to do something else with it. I have to think about it.
Yeah, my scores were running pretty high as well. I think I played 2 games against the Kansas City Scouts, and one team scored 10 and one team scored 11. And I know they're a bad team,
but you would expect scores like that with the Scouts. The teams I was playing with 95-96 Montreal had, I think, 90 points, and they played the Kings, who had a losing record, but they weren't at the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
And the Kings won. I played 5 games between those two teams. First game was 10-7 Montreal. Few lower scores, and then the last game was 13-11 in favor of the Kings.
Wow.
How are the Kings going to score 13? But I had one segment of 7 goals, and it's just every time, because if you score a goal, that time segment is not over. So you roll again, and it would be a quality matchup between 2 players, and every time one player did not have the quality, so the other team got the scoring chance, and they scored. Because what was it? I think the Montreal goalie had only 2 stars on play, and the Kings goalie had 3. So
Yeah, what I found is that if you win the matchup, and if you're a good team against a bad team, you win them all the time. And then the goalie's got 1 star. I mean, 2-6 is a goal, and that's why you're just going to get so many goals. And I like the fact that some people said maybe you cap it at 2 or 3 goals in a segment, or maybe you add a star to the goalie just so you don't get crazy scores, But
yeah.
It's still fun. It's still very enjoyable, despite the scores, I just played 2 games of Hockey Blast last night on the channel in 95-96, and I played the Canucks and the Devils, and the Devils won 8-3.
I watched that.
Then I had the Red Wings and the Blues with Gretzky on the Blues, and they won 8-2. The Red Wings did. And in fact, they chased Fuhr. It was 7-2 after 2 periods. I took Fuhr out, and it was I thought they were high scoring games, but they were fun. The thing is, they're fun, even though they're high scoring. They're fun.
Yeah. So what Al was saying about playing a bad team. When I'm playing a bad team, I'm not looking to improve upon the record. Like in my instance, I'm just looking to relive my following of the Seals back in the 70s. Because when I first started playing Strat in 79 or 78, they didn't have retro seasons. And they didn't start making retro seasons until the late 90s, when it was about the time that I was just pretty much done with Strat. So now that I've got all these other hockey games that are putting out the retro seasons, I'm playing just to relive the seals. It doesn't have to be, like I'm not disappointed if I don't improve on the record. So
Right.
But other people may play the bad teams because they're trying to improve them. But that's not the case. When
I like to see what's going to happen too. I'm not necessarily improving. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? What's my replay going to be?
Yeah.
So, Tim, obviously you're a Cleveland fan. What seasons do you like to play?
Well, if I could, I'd like to play some stuff in the 90s. I have 97 and 98 sitting separated and in the sleeves. So I'm like RJ a little bit. I only like to play one season at a time if I absolutely can. So I was going to do 72 for Clemente's last season, but since he's doing 72 coming up starting tomorrow, who knows? I might bust that out for a few games and see what's happening. I figure that the 98 team is going to do a little bit better than the 97 team for Cleveland. But just in general, that sweet spot that Ron always talks about, you're between 14 and 19, I guess, would be, that's 93 to 98 for me. So that would be what I would love to do.
95 in season ticket, and I printed out the Cleveland, Atlanta, and Boston. And so I'm going to have Cleveland and Boston play. And then no matter who wins, I'm going to have them play Atlanta so I can kind of replay those series. Because, I like the 95 Red Sox, with some of those guys in that team. I really did like that. So
you wonder if they took game one of that series against the Indians, what that could have been,
Yeah, for me, it would be a what if. And now, Michael, what seasons do you enjoy playing now?
Well, being a big Red Sox fan, it's, 67. In fact, that was my first project using the play History Maker Baseball. And I got 99 wins out of that team compared to the 92.
Wow.
And
nice.
only because the Red Sox won their last 11 games in my replay. They got on a roll. And that was fun. Although I did play St. Louis in the World Series, and unlike the real team, I got eliminated in 5 games. Did not go 7 games. St. Louis just took it to me.
What'd you do with Caglignaro?
What's that?
What did you do with Caglignaro? Did you injure him at the time?
That was interesting. As I was going along, I kept going back and forth on what I was going to do. And I decided, you know what? We're going to cheat for that one at bat and have him get plunked and take him out in that inning. And that's what I did. I thought about leaving him in and playing, the rest of the way. And I said, no. And it was funny because as I was playing this series, this replay, my wife came in one day and said, "Do you ever cheat at this?" And I said, "No. Why would I do that?
Right.
There's no point."
Maybe when you were 12, you might have re-rolled.
Yeah,
a couple
maybe.
Times. Yeah.
But I did cheat because I did. When it came to the Caglignaro situation, I said, "You know what? He's gonna get on base." And believe it or not, in my replay, nothing happened. He never scored, so it really didn't affect the play of that game. And then again, I just played the rest of the season without him. But yeah, that was I went back and forth on that. It was a kind of a fun decision. So I kind of like the 75 season, 78. I was in college in 78, and I was in the bleachers for the Bucky Dent home run.
Oh, wow. That's
when your wife is asking you if you're cheating, that's a question you've got to answer very carefully.
That's true.
This is true. Although she knows where to find me every night. I'm behind my desk and playing games. Makes it a little bit easier. So, and then the recent years in the 2000s, I like the Red Sox. Those seasons, 69 because of the New York Mets. We were able to, here in southeastern Connecticut, on good nights before cable, be able to see some of those games on Channel 9. So, that was a miracle season. I was 12 years old at that time, so it was kind of fun watching the Mets. I had gone through the Red Sox in 67, so that was pretty cool.
Nice. We are joined by.
Did you use as played lineups in that 67 replay?
Yes,
Actual
I did.
starting
Yes.
pitches?
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely did. That was the amazing thing as you get older and the new baseball has taken over. I forgot just how many starts pitchers got. I mean, there were situations where it was a 4-game wraparound series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the guy that started on Friday came right back and pitched in that same series on Monday. So it was, for me, I was only 10 at the time, so I didn't realize what was going on. But now that I'm a lot older, it was interesting to play that and see guys come back, 2-3 days later and pitch. So I had to get that in my mind that, there were no 5-man rotations back then.
Who was the guy? There was a pitcher I saw, and I forget where I saw this little tidbit here, but he pitched a doubleheader. Now, it must have been a long time.
Wilbur Wood.
Yeah, Wood. Yeah.
Was a knuckleballer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts. That's nuts.
You could do that.
Yeah. Oh, there was a game where Louis Tiant and Nolan Ryan pitched. I think both of them pitched either 14 or 15 innings. Combined, they threw like 450 pitches, and 3 days later or 4 days later, both Tiant and Ryan made their next starts. And actually, I think Ryan lost his next start and Tiant won his next start. But it was incredible. A starting pitcher going, 14 innings.
Yeah.
And throwing that many pitches in today's world, that's just not going to happen.
Game 7 of the 65 series, both Sandy Koufax and Jim Cott went on 2 days rest.
Yeah. That's nuts. I played a game of payoff pitch, and it was Nolan Ryan, and I forget who the other pitcher was, and it was like 0-0 in the 11th inning, and I'm like, I can't take anybody out. They're not fatigued according to the game, and they're mowing them down. I think I went into the 12th inning before I said, okay, I'm going to take a pitcher out just because it didn't feel right letting them pitch 13 innings, And then as soon as the first hit happened, I took the pitchers out, and I think it was a 1-0 game, but it was 0-0 when these stallions are just pitching away, and you don't want to take them out, But anyway, I'd like to welcome Michael Silva here to the chat here. Michael, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for letting me on. Yeah, happy New Year to you guys. I just wanted to join and say hello. And I don't know if you guys, I just want to say thanks, Ron and Dave, because you guys, this is for 2023. This is the first year I actually got into cards and dice. And so I started out in April, and your podcast and stuff were a big part of that, and me getting into that. So I just wanted to thank you for that, and just let you know I'm a huge payoff pitch fan. I'm playing an 86 replay all the games of every team.
Oh wow,
nice.
Yep,
nice.
And actually I'm actually using multiple sims. I started with Strat, then I got APA, and I got payoff pitch, and now I'm using the digital diamond to keep.
Isn't that great?
Awesome.
Isn't that great?
Tremendous.
And obviously. And your video on how to get the ratings in there has helped a lot too. That was awesome. So that was great. And that helps immensely. Just saves me plenty of time where I can do this. I'm actually in August right now. I'm end of August.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Believe me. Because I'm actually using, believe it or not, I'm using Action PC and OOTP as well. And I'm still logging in the plays in Digital Diamond for those. So I'm kind of keeping it fresh with all the different sims,
Nice.
So anyway, I just want to thank you, and I just want to say, Dave, I'm in your neck of the woods, and if open invitation, if you ever want to meet somewhere and roll some payoff pitch or something, I'm down for that.
Oh, fantastic!
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
and Ron, I matriculated up in your area of the woods, up at St. Mike's, so
okay,
so I know you're up in Burlington. That's a great town. And I know the rest of you guys. I know you guys from the chat, and I don't know if you know I don't know if you play OOTP. I don't want to. But if you use the historical stadiums for OTP,
are you the one that did those?
Yeah, I created those.
Oh my
Great
goodness!
job.
What tremendous work that is!
Oh yeah,
Beautiful work. Beautiful
and
work.
the uniforms as well. Most of the
nice.
uniforms I did. So,
Nice.
so
Wow.
yeah. And I haven't really. I did one YouTube video recently. Just was just using. I'm not nowhere near a broadcaster or anything. So, I like to my version of a YouTube video would be to play the game and then just shoot the breeze with the people that join,
Right.
like you guys are doing right now. Just talk about the game, talk about the 80s, and I'm an 80s sports guy. That was my wheelhouse. I was a kid and stuff. So 86 is right the year I remember. even though the Red Sox lost. But
Turned 14 that November or the November before. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was 10, so 10 and 86. So, but anyway, I just wanted to introduce myself. To, I follow your videos and stuff. And
you do tremendous work.
Oh, thanks.
You
I
really
do play.
do.
Yep, thank you. I haven't gotten into. I have History Maker Golf. I have Pocket Pennant Run. I got. I don't. I have Stone Cold Hockey too. That's about the only stuff. I see you guys loading up on the games and the seasons. I'm like, woof. I don't know if I have the storage for all that stuff. But I'm more of a just play what I have right now, and then I'll move on. I'll get whatever I want after I'm done. But
I'm doing this 79 payoff pitch. Well, I'm doing 79 with Digital Diamond, and I've used 5 or 6 different games to play that, but I've kind of settled in with payoff pitch for that. But I've used season ticket, back to basics.
Oh, back to basics. I have that too. That's a good one.
Strat. I think I bought 79 for Strat, so I played some Strat.
Yeah.
You got an original 79 Strat set.
I have an original 79. It's all full of pencil marks. Guys were writing on it and stuff, and I'm trying to erase some of the notes there. But I prefer the newer cards myself. But that's what I have. So, but I wouldn't bounce it around with that too. And Digital Diamond is great because you can play any game you want and just throw in all the stuff.
I couldn't imagine if you guys probably playing cards and dice most of your lives probably, and at least I know a lot of people, and to have this just come up right around the time I'm starting to get into this is probably, I just feel lucky. I feel like if I was born in the 2000s when the Patriots were winning all the Super Bowls, I just was growing up with that. You know what I mean? That's all I know. So I feel like for the people that the whole lives they haven't had anything like that, they're just doing their pencils and paper for stats. It's gonna be crazy, right?
Yeah. A lot of guys prefer that, but myself, I like to have the computer going there. And I don't know about you, but you're playing the whole season. But what I like to do is I'll be sitting here at night and just by myself, and I'll play a game in 79 with payoff pitch, and I'll be done. I'll be like, I think I'm going to play the next game of the series. I'm just enjoying it.
Oh, I play multiple games. Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, and I know it's a huge time commitment, and it's like it was my first project, and it's an ambitious one. But basically everything I've played for any of the games has been for the 86 season. Any game I played has been the game I've played has been for that season. So, but I'll tell you though, I thought I knew all the players from growing up and watching. That was the time I was collecting cards, and I knew all the players, and that's kind of the nostalgia thing for me. But I'll tell you, just playing every game, you learn how you're pretty much in every manager's head at that time. Like exactly the lineups.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Like it's amazing. Like from game to game, you can see like, why is he doing this? Why did he put this guy bat in second?
Yeah,
like I have no idea. Maybe someone got hurt or something. Maybe he's just like, why does he have a 200 hit at batting second? I have no idea. And I'll tell you with the Red Sox, because I'm a Red Sox fan. But of course, that's all we need is another one on here, right? but anyway, the one thing I noticed about the 86 Red Sox, which I can't believe, is that first of all, they had no bench. Their bench was awful, right? They just had like Mark Sullivan as catcher, the backup. Now all their backups were pretty bad, whereas the Mets were like really good backups on that team. But John McNamara used the same lineup almost every night. Didn't matter. He never, and I kind of understand why when you look at their bench, but. A little thing I'm a little aggravated about though is they just traded for Dave Henderson in my season, and they haven't even started him yet. It's been like 6 games and he hasn't even started. But maybe he wasn't. Yeah, maybe he wasn't supposed to be a starter. Yeah.
The trade for Henderson and Owen really was the big thing that got them, I think, over the line.
Yeah. Well, obviously in the playoffs, right? And they wouldn't
obviously in the playoffs, but
anyway,
you and I out there short, I think, at the beginning part of the season for the Red Sox. It just wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'll tell you. I learned about every team too. So even every team, I learned about all their backups, all the scrub players, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. So I just wanted to.
I got a question for you, Mike, but first I want to do this here. So they were asking about some of the channel names here, and he's another replay guy. Hooray, Michael, right? Mike. Yep, that's him. And Tim,
that's correct.
You're a Cleveland baseball fan 879 on YouTube. Is that what it is?
Parentheses. That's my channel name.
Okay. And PJet, just search PJet and hockey, and you'll find PJet. He's everywhere. And so so a couple of the people here we wanted to mention because I'm like I said, not everybody subscribed to everybody here, and we got a really good community here. The question I want to ask you, Mike Silva, is because I thought about playing full seasons. That's something I'll never do. I don't think I'll have the patience to do that because I'm like, oh, squirrel. That's just me. But my thing was when you're playing a full season and you get to, like I said, we are on August and you're playing the Cardinals
Yeah, the
and,
Expos or
and the
whatever.
Braves. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody,
Oh,
two
two,
teams
yeah.
that are like
Pirates and
15
Braves.
games out, and
Yeah.
there's no
Oh,
chance
yeah.
at making the play. So it's like it's hard to get up.
I don't know.
For a game like that. And
Well,
I did one the other day. I'm in my 79 series because I've been playing the top 3 teams a lot. So like,
Yeah.
it's Baltimore, New York, and Cleveland, I think, were the top 3. And then over here it's California, Seattle, and I forget who else, Texas maybe. But then the other day I said, because I have all the teams printed out for 79, I said, you know something? I'm playing the worst teams. And I played the Braves and the Mets, and they were like combined 45 games out in 79, and I played them, and just it didn't matter if I screwed up and made a mistake because they weren't going anywhere.
Right.
But it was fun to just
is.
give them a little love,
What I like about it, and what keeps me interested, is that like it does every game you could have a great, like a fun game for any, and it doesn't matter what teams are playing. Like, let me give you an example. I played San Francisco in Philadelphia, and it was like Kelly Downs versus some other guy you probably never heard of in Philadelphia. Kelly Downs had and I was playing this on Discord, and I had about 4 guys watching as I was doing this, just kind of shooting the breeze. Kelly Downs had a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Right. So actually, right when the 9th inning started, I looked at Digital Diamond. I looked and I looked at my thing. I was like, wait a second, this guy's got a perfect game. He hadn't walked anybody. So I'm like, holy shit, guys! I'm sorry for the language, but I was like, this guy's got a perfect game. I was like, oh my god! So we're playing, and I was putting in pinch hitters for Philadelphia. I'm like, I'm talking to the guys. I'm like, who should I put in? It was fun. But what happened? The pitcher slot came up for Philadelphia. I pinch hit Rick really big shoe for the pitcher. And he got a single off of Kelly Downs to break up the perfect game with 2 outs, and then Kelly Downs ended up getting the last out right after that. So he ended up with a 1-hitter.
How many times has that happened to the people here that you get into the 9th inning either with a perfect game or a no hitter, and it gets ruined in the 9th?
Oh, it's amazing.
I had that in the World Series clincher.
Yeah, amazing. I was sitting there like, well, nobody was talking to Kelly Downs in the dugout for a while. That's what I kept saying. You could see him sitting by himself.
Doing the 49 World Season, and it was the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. And I've got the computer want me to go with Fred Sanford, who was like one of those 10 start guys for the Yankees. And so, okay, if that's what they want to go with, and that's what we'll go with. And he took a no hit. I'm doing I'm coming, Elizabeth, all those jokes. Sanford and Son thinking, okay, we're gonna have some fun with this. And I realized about the 6th inning that Brooklyn doesn't have a hit.
Yeah.
And he took through 7 so he took a no-hitter in a World Series clincher in the 9th inning.
Wow.
He lost it in the 9th. They won the game.
That was still pretty cool. I remember he was talking about that. That's
it really is just one of those super cool things. It's
you just never know. Yeah.
You just never know.
Right. I mean, I'll just tell you, and then 86, the other 2 games, like which I wouldn't, if I just played really good teams, I wouldn't even know. I played Barry Bonds' major league debut, and I played Mark McGwire's major league debut. So it's cool when that comes up. Like, oh crap, this is their first at bat ever in their in their career. Of course, Mark McGwire, which I'll tell you, I learned something. I had no idea. His first few games, he played third base. I was like, I had no idea.
Oh, interesting.
But needless to say, neither they hit a few home runs between the 2 of them, but they're not like playing like the Hall of Famers they were at this point.
No.
So, but anyway, it's so stuff like that's interesting.
That's cool.
So
Speaking about interesting guys,
oh,
it's a Sportsman Z.
Hey
guys,
how are you?
All right, I'm doing good.
Good to see you. I've been playing some White Sox games on my channel, and all I can think about is Sportsman Z, because I know he's a big White Sox guy. And there was a couple teams that never make my channel. The White Sox were one of them, and they've been playing a lot on my channel and a lot on my desktop. So welcome here. And I think of everybody in the community their favorite teams. When I play Cleveland, I think of Tim. When I play the White Sox, it's Sportsman Z. When I think of the Seals, I don't think of P-Jet.
Likewise.
So I'll leave you guys to it. All right. I just wanted to say hello. Right. I just want to say Happy New Year and thank you guys for getting me into this hobby. It's
Mike,
really good,
thanks for coming by. And keep in mind that Metal Church is playing in Vermont pretty soon. So if you want to go, we can see Metal Church, and we'll take Ron to a nice Metal Church show.
I've been to Slayer and Metallica and Iron Maiden many times. So yeah, I'd be into that. Metal Church I'm not familiar with, but I could get into it. Thanks, guys.
Ron loves them. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I'm going to head out too. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Happy
Mike
New
C,
Year.
thanks for coming by. And what's your next project? What are you working on now? What's your next one going to be?
I'm going to get through this one first. I haven't decided what my next one's going to be.
Okay.
Probably try something else. I mean, I'm stuck on History Maker Baseball. I've got all these other games to play, but I am so addicted to the History Maker Baseball. So we'll see.
All right. Well, good luck.
All right,
We'll
thanks.
check in with you. Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
All right. So, Sportsman Z, what's been going on your channel?
Well, I'm doing a Phillies 2020 season where I am doing the cards and dice for the Phillies, and then I enter the stats into the game, and then I have the game play the other games,
Okay.
every day. So, hoping to get through that season, in a timely manner, but we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Yeah, I took the 2020 season because I'm doing the entire season as if it were to have been played because
The 162.
COVID made it just a 60-game season. So this way, people, the criticisms that you might get, like, you didn't use as played lineups, or, this guy, played too much or something like that. You really don't need to get those criticisms because this is a season that was never actually played. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Have you played any other hockey games other than Strat, Z?
I just bought Action PC Hockey, so I'm just learning it. I'm just
You're gonna
learning how
love
to play it. I've imported the the photos and everything, so I'm messing around with it just to get the hang of it. And I may put a few games up on the channel once I'm a little more comfortable with it.
Visually, it's a lot better to stream than Strat Hockey PC.
Yeah.
Just because of the rinks and the logos and the teams and everything's bigger. And I do like the Strat PC Hockey, but they have so much. Just make everything bigger. It's
right.
You don't got to change any of the coding in the game, but just make everything bigger. We don't need a rink this big on our screen. You know what I mean? Just make it bigger. There's things you can do, I think, to dress that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it just works a little bit better. Ron's playing it now. He's got a couple seasons going. I enjoy playing it myself. I just picked up the new version. It's kind of fun. I think the new one does play a little quicker, so you can get through the games a little faster. So,
yeah,
but it is kind of fun.
I'm really enjoying it. So, Sportsman and Tim, what do you think Strat's going to release for their retro season tomorrow?
I couldn't even guess, but I know I need 1974. That's the only season I'm missing that Strat has ever made in the cards. So
I would like that too.
If they do 1974, that'll be great.
Let's say the Cinesystem will say 1995.
Interesting. That'd be another good one. Those are both seasons I would pick up.
I would pretty much stop what I'm doing and get the 95 season and play it immediately. Not the whole season, but at least the Indians. I would definitely play
Strat
it.
fan form, I think, would self-immolate if it was a 90s season.
Yeah.
I mean,
it has to be 3 seasons in the 90s. Like, gee,
And I think we're also I think we're going to get a 20s Diamond Gems.
You'd probably be better off putting a 10s Diamond Gems, wouldn't you? Because you're only 4 years into the 20s, right?
No, I mean 1920s.
Oh, 1920s. Okay.
Because
sure. Why not?
Because it did the 1910s would be there. I think Dave would grab that.
I love those. I think I have the 1911 or 1912 season from Strat. And I got a couple of old ones from APA, 05 and 08 for APA. So those, I like the old seasons. They're fictional for me because they're so far back, and the names. I love the names.
Everybody.
Of those people. They really are.
But it really does kind of fit your play style of baseball.
It's just
manufacturing
fun.
runs.
Yeah. Now, Sportsman Z and Tim, have either of you ever tried APA baseball?
No.
I have never tried it. I looked at it, but it looked a little too expensive for me. If I wouldn't want to make the investment and then decide that it wasn't for me. So I've never done it.
Yep. And I've not touched anything other than Strat. So
okay. Now, PJ, you're a big fan of APA hockey, from what I hear, correct?
I got it again because a fellow gamer who is also a Seals fan from California sent me his game along with the 74-75 season.
Oh, that's a good season. Yeah. Give it another chance. You never know. I've gone back and I've given so many people a chance. So many other games a chance.
Do you use these fast action cards that I got online for?
I
for
saw
Apple
them.
Hockey?
No. I use the
For Apple?
spreadsheet. Yeah, this Appa's got them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I use the spreadsheet, and the
Interesting.
shortcuts. All the dice rolls come up, so you don't got to roll dice. It's like it gives you the roll, the shot, the assist, the goalie save, the block shot. It's all right there. So it's just one click. It's fantastic.
I can't do that with the computer and the gaming
Oh, do
table
you?
stuff.
Oh, for me, it's so much better. Because when I was playing Apple and hockey balls, I kept dropping the dice in, and I hurt my shoulder from so many dice rolls. I was playing all the time. Like, why is my shoulder hurt? What am I doing? Oh, I'm dropping dice in the tray over and over and over. So,
Tim, do
Yeah, and another thing for me with APA, particularly APA baseball, is like from what I understand, every single batter you have to check a chart. And I mean, I know you've said before that like once you've done it a number of times, you know what the result's going to be, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to check a chart every single time there's a batter comes up.
you get used to it because you flip to that page.
You memorize it very fast.
Yeah, and you know that a 13 is a strikeout and this and that and the other thing. And I find it enjoyable. In the hockey, I've kind of memorized some of that too. And so I can kind of fly through a game of hockey right now. So, but somebody asked over here, where is it right here? Texas Ags. Favorite PC full hockey game, Strat, Action PC, Inside Sports, etc. I will tell you right now, for me, my favorite one to play is the Inside the Crease from Inside Sports Hockey on the PC. That is my favorite. I feel that's a full hockey game. I actually practice my broadcasting to that game because you get a lot of things in that you don't get in other games. So that's my favorite. The problem is they don't sim any other games. You have to play every single game in the season if you want to play a season out. So that I don't play it much. I do a one-off and I have my fun, but that's my favorite. Action PC and Strat, they sim the other games. You can play any game or sim as many as you want. They're both fun. The difference is I think you make more decisions in the Strat game than the Action PC. Action PC, the graphics are a lot better. Let's just face it, the graphics are a lot better, and it looks a lot nicer. So that's the three there. So I don't know what you guys think about the hockey PC games.
I've played Action PC. I'm not really big on computer games, but I can say that I did get Inside the Crease a long time ago, and I did one project with it. It's very true to the cards and dice game, and I mean, if I did play a computer game, that would be the only one I would play. I wouldn't even bother checking out Strat. I'm not big on computer games, so.
Okay.
Yeah, the only two I've even seen are Strat and Action PC, and I'm just learning Action PC. So,
okay, that's good. Well, we need to add something to the mix here because we have way too much Stratomatic going on in this room. So we need to add Appa Brian to the chat.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, guys. What a wonderful way to ring in the new year, Dave. Thanks for putting this together.
No problem. This has been a blast tonight. It's been fun. There's a lot of people I follow on YouTube and a lot of chat rooms I go in, and a lot of people I lean on myself to learn games and to answer questions for me. So Apple Brian, what have you been playing lately, and what do you plan on playing in 2024?
Right now I'm doing the Hunt for 400 by Ted Williams in 1941. It's last 10 games of the season. See if you can still hit 400. He's hitting 407. Started out, these projects I do, sometimes they just don't go right. Like I tried to do Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak, didn't get a hit the first game. That was the end of the project. But and Ted Williams started this one 0 for 4 and committed an error in left field, but he's bounced back and he's had multi-hit games and he's up to 407.
Oh, nice. Have you guys done that before? Have you guys started a project in early on, just gave up because it just wasn't going well?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
PJ says no.
No, I've probably finished 95% of my projects. I can think of only two that I didn't complete since 1970.
Wow.
It's like once I put my my head down and plow ahead, I finish it.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'm probably one of the few that does finish. Well, I mean, once I get done with the 2007 postseason, I've finished pretty much every project. And I've done quite a few full season ones too. So, but
That's the
Yeah,
only
I've
project.
started a few.
That's the only project I think I've not finished on my channel. But I don't do a lot of long projects. I do a few long projects I've done. This summer I did a long project, but I try to do shorter things.
Is that a Kansas City A's hat, Brian?
That is a Kansas City A's hat, my first
Wow.
love in baseball.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. In fact,
Guys, I'm going to sign out. But before I leave, Dave, one more time.
Rekese.
Harekasi.
No,
Harekasi.
Harekasi. Ha. I'm gonna write it down. Hang on a sec. Where's my pen? All right.
You have
All
the
right.
parentheses
I got my
underneath
notes.
the key, Jeff.
So Harekasi. I wrote it down, and I won't forget that until I play the next Seals game.
I'll take that with some scrambled eggs and a Coke, okay?
But PJ, hey,
guys,
Ron.
Great talking to you.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
coming
you.
on, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
All righty.
Take care,
Right
PJ.
then. Sportsman Z, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I miss your helmets on your pick'em shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring those back next year. I've heard from a lot of people that they want to see those back. So next year we'll do the helmets again.
Yeah, I bought some myself. I got the football and the baseball, and I used to do it a lot. And now I just print out logos and just put them on the page now, and that looks good too. Sometimes, Al Red Sox fan has the little helmets all the time, and they're fun. They're really
Baseball
fun to
helmets,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that there. As a kid, did you ever have the little ice cream cups? And you
Yeah.
see, I think I have a couple around here somewhere. And we used to collect the whole set back in the 70s. We'd go for ice cream. My grandmother would go for ice cream. And, we'd have all the cups. We had the whole set of cups. And once in a while, they bring them back. Once in a while, we'll go to an ice cream stand and see them. It's like, oh, man. As a kid, now I can't eat all that ice cream.
I did the ice cream cups, but I'll tell you what I like to collect as a young kid is the post serial baseball cards in the back of post serial, because you could pick your players that you can look at the back of the box, pick who you get.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I used to put, I think, 5 or 6 on the back of every cereal box. And
yeah, those were cool.
Nice. Sportsman Z, you've been playing a little bit of strat hockey. Now did you move up from basic to advanced?
No, I'm still doing basic. I did have a friend. There's a friend of mine that lives local to me, and he plays super advanced, and he came over a couple days ago, and we played super advanced, but it doesn't seem like it would lend itself to being on the channel, doing it on the channel. But I may look into playing it just to get more familiar with it. But I like the basic because it goes really quick. It just goes.
Yeah, there's not that big of a step up between basic and advanced, and I think it gives you a lot more things to happen in the game. The super advanced, I haven't done the super advanced hockey or super advanced baseball. I think that's a little bit beyond where I want to be right now. And I find the advanced hockey and the advanced baseball is kind of a perfect level for me. I really do. So I'm interested to see if you play the advanced hockey, you play a few games or whatever, give it a try. I think you might find that, boy, it's better than the basic, but it's really not that big of a step up.
Okay, I'll check it out. Right.
And you can probably pick and choose, introduce new super advanced rules as you go along, and keep the ones you like and don't use the ones you don't.
That's one nice thing about Strat is you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah, I do
it doesn't
like
really
that.
force you in anything.
Yep.
That's what I really liked about season ticket baseball is that there's a basic mode, but then there's 25 pages of extras, everything from, automatic managers to, whatever. And you can pick and choose from that. So, I mean, when you go to steal a base, there's a basic mode, but then there's a mode that you got to see if you get the jump that I like to use. Then there's a rule that says if you roll really low or really high, the pitcher either picks you off or throws the ball away, and all these little things, and you don't need them if you don't want, but if you want to put them in, they really, really do add to the thing. Because I was going to steal, and I rolled, and I rolled 1-1. It's like, oh my gosh, he's picked off. He's trying to get a jump. He gets picked. And I thought it was the coolest thing, you know? And but there's a lot of rules for season ticket that I just don't use because it's like, oh man, that's way more than I want to deal with. But like, you know, like Brian was saying, is that if you can find a game that you can just pick and choose what you want out of advanced or super advanced, I think that's a sign of a good game. I really do.
Yeah.
That you don't have to go all in with everything.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I do the basic hockey, but I use the advanced face-off system for it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Most of these games are pick and choose opportunities, but payoff pitch is also very good about that, whether you want to use fact cards or not. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with that. In fact, I gave up on payoff pitch, and I tell the story. I think I told it tonight that I almost got rid of all my cards because I was like, "Oh man, I can't play this game. It's driving me nuts. I'm all confused."
Yeah.
And then I think it was the replay gamer who we had on earlier tonight, and he did a video, and so did Kurt Berglund, about the updated rule set for payoff pitch. And he went through it, and I was like, you know something? I'm playing old rules and new rules, and then I'm incorporating the fast action cards, and I was getting them all mixed up. And I finally just sat down and said, okay, how do I want to handle things? And I looked at the rules and the optional rules, and I have a little system now. And I roll dice for some things, I flip facts for some things, and some things I go to the chart, and it's flowing so nice right now. And now I'm loving it again. But I had to go back and sort out all the different rules and the fast action cards because there's a couple different ways to play that game. And once I sorted it out,
pitch, I use a combination of the dice and the fast action cards.
Yeah.
And now it works for me. But I was confused because I had so many different ways of playing it. You know what I mean? And now it's like, okay, now I found my so now it's, I know when to flip the fast action card. I know when to roll the dice. I know where I'm looking for this. I know where I'm looking for that. I figured out the double play, which I had a hard time with the double play. Now it's, I know what that is. And just so now when I'm rolling dice and I'm following along, it's just been super, super fun. And for me, it's my go-to game right now. It really is because everything is just right there and I can figure it all out.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry says that he's all dice and payoff pitch. Yeah, and both ways are fine.
You can do
both
that.
ways are fine. Mm-hmm. But the fast action card comes in handy for defense. When it's a defense check, there's your fast action card. No, it just there it is, And then I use that for a couple of singles and doubles, and I use it for all my bunts and all my steals, and it just makes everything faster. It really does.
You tried the Lewis flipper for that?
I think I tried it, and I didn't care for it that much. There's nothing wrong with it. Just for me,
because his flippers are phenomenal.
Oh no, he covers everything. He really does. And the super advanced rules. Use advance is not using at the ground ball plus holding run. It's not on a single. And he uses super advanced runner advancement. Okay.
You could have said that out loud, Tim.
I just noticed a comment from John Wise prior.
Yeah.
Way back. And I was like, he's like, do you use any super advanced rules for when you play? It's like, well, the only ones I hate the fact that the ground ball plus, if you're like, it's the guy responsible for holding him on. If he's holding him on to this thing, like, super advanced doesn't do that, so I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then the effect on a ground ball like a ground ball to second with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, that runner should score. I don't get that for advance, why you have to hold true and fast to that.
I believe that was the impetus for season ticket baseball. I believe that rule right there, I think, irritated
it might have been
Clay enough that he came up with season ticket baseball just to fix it.
Yeah, and it's like, that's, to me, that plays more like baseball than playing.
Right.
Like I said, another one you could go into is, when do you want to play the sport versus how do you want to play the game?
Exactly.
Oh, we talk about that all the time. It's like, are you playing the game or are you playing the sport? I mean, does it feel like you're playing baseball or does it feel like you're playing a game,
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have the immersion in the game. And, and people ask us all the time, what's your favorite game? And I said, well, the games you see us playing on the channel are the ones that we enjoy playing the most, and so we don't have to say what we like, what we don't like. It's just, if you see us playing it, and if you don't see us playing it, then that's probably it too.
That means we don't enjoy that much, and we don't want to subject you to our pain.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to add Bob here, who's going to join us
Hi.
here on New Year's
Hey,
Eve. Hi,
Bob.
Bob.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you? Happy
Doing
New Year.
great.
Happy New Year.
We're having a fun time here, and so we're just asking people what they've been playing and what they're going to be playing next year, and just kind of having a nice little gaming chat tonight.
Well, I've been actually I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 seasons of payoff to sort yet.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's a pain, but at the same time, it's really fun.
Oh, I love it because you say, oh, I didn't know he was on this team or whatever, you know.
So many guys I went through. I got 2 seasons for Christmas, and then Black Friday I got 2 seasons, and I'm like, I don't remember this guy playing for this team, and I don't remember this guy playing for this team, and it's fun. Now you're like, oh, now I want to play this game just so I can play this guy in a different uniform.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to maybe once I get them all sorted, the seasons I have, I'm going to, since I'm an Oriole fan, I'm going to play the Oriole teams against each other.
Oh, nice. Boy, we got the American League East well represented over here. Huh?
Yeah,
we
we
got some Red
do.
Sox, some Indians, some Orioles. Well, we have the White Sox, which is the West. And Brian, what's your team? What's your go-to team?
He's Kansas City.
the old A's.
Anything Kansas City Royals or Chiefs or A's. I have a question on a payoff pitch. I think I know the answer, but do they put when they have extra cards for a player that played on 2 different teams, do they put the dates on that they were on those teams on the card?
Sometimes they do. There was a couple of seasons that it'll say here are the dates he played on this teams, but there was also, I think there was a couple seasons that didn't. Either that or I didn't notice it.
Okay.
So there, and I don't know which ones are which. Well, let me see here. Okay, so I got my all right, so I got my Minnesota Twins here from '86. And if I look here, okay, on this one, Keith Atherton from May 20th to October 1st. So this particular set, you can see that.
It does. I see that.
We'll show that. But I thought there was a couple of sets I had, or one set that I had, maybe it's an older set, that it didn't indicate that, because it was definitely a player that I knew had played for 2 different teams, and it didn't say
It's always
that he was
nice
on
when
a
they
different
do
team.
that.
But yeah,
So-
no, that's nice. The payoff pitch cards are great. They have the player's age on here, and you can find everything. I like them. Although
And they're great cards. They're nice, thick cards.
Yeah, they
Best
are.
of the business.
The card
Best
stock
of the
is great.
business.
You
best
know,
one is, yeah, they are the best. I was printing them at first. I bought a whole bunch of PDFs from Payoff Pitch back
yeah, I
in the
got a
day.
couple seasons PDF, and I've printed off and cut them down. You know.
But when I got my first printed set in, I was like, for $40 or whatever it is, it's like, how can you not go with this unbelievable quality of card? You know, I mean, if they were 140, well, that's different.
Well,
but, you know,
yeah.
coming into $40, and the thing with Payoff Pitch is that you get everybody, and the thing is, he's you know, he's going to be on both teams too. So I mean, if you're playing this team, no matter what time of the year you play your game, he's going to be in there. You know, and there's some other games that I enjoy playing, but you got to go digging into other teams to find them. You know what I mean? Okay,
They
well,
were
it's
with
this,
last. Yeah, right.
yeah. So you get the last couple of months, the last month. That's a season ended. The season ended. Here's your guys. So if this guy here started the season with another team, you got to go find him. It's not a huge deal, but it is nice when they're all right there. You know.
Bob, have you been able to play the last year's Orioles with any engine yet?
No, I haven't. Not the 23 yet. I haven't seen that season out yet.
I played it. I did a traditional World Series with them and the Braves and the Action PC set. Atlanta was tremendous, but that Baltimore team is fun. They are they're a plucky team. Atlanta, I think, won in 5, but Baltimore never got blown out.
No, actually,
Hey guys, I'm going to jump off.
Okay.
Hi, sportsman. Good to see you.
I'll talk to you later.
Happy
New
Year.
Thanks for coming by.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Actually, when they actually played Atlanta this past year, they got swept by Atlanta 3 games, but with every game went to the 9th inning or into the extra innings. You know,
if your closer hadn't been hurt for the playoffs, I think it'd have been a much different story for Baltimore.
yeah. Well, he's out for this year too.
Oh,
yeah.
He won't be back till 25.
The first time I saw playoff pitch being played on YouTube happened to be a series with the 69 Royals and the 69 Orioles. And I think the 69 Royals won a couple of games, and I thought, holy cow. They only won, in real life, they only won like 1 out of 20 games they played that year against the Orioles. And I went to some of those games. They were just not competitive. So I thought, is that game really accurate? That was my first exposure.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't make a decision on a small sample size like that. You have to really see some scores of games to understand. And payoff pitch is an accurate game. It's as good as any of them.
He's done a tremendous job with that game. He really has.
Yeah.
I like to thank you guys for doing this. And I watch you guys all the time. All your podcasts and all. I listen to them all the time. I
appreciate that, Bob.
it.
Yeah, no, we have a good time. We have a good community. And so, Scott was late here to the show. Happy New Year! Thanks for coming by, Scott. Must have a delivery.
No, my dog's been barking at the fireworks.
Oh yeah, we had fireworks a couple hours ago here. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
got
mine
one
don't come until midnight, and the neighbors shoot them off.
Oh.
Yeah, we got one dog that hides from the fireworks and one dog that will bark at the fireworks. So it's a nice mix of a dog crawling underneath you and another one barking. July 4th is our favorite holiday.
That can happen in thunderstorms too.
Yeah,
John,
thanks for coming.
John.
John, good night.
All right.
Oh no, Steve Towers back. So he got away. Now he went to was he the one that went to the store for milk? Is it,
No, that was some
Tebow.
Is it Tebow or Russ or Pesky Pole?
Pesky Pole. Somebody went. Yeah, somebody went to the store for milk on New Year's Eve.
Made me think about the stores being open that late.
And Robert's a cat person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine's been screaming at the door.
Well, I have the one dog and I have 3 cats.
Ah.
So
we had cats and dogs for a while, and then the cats.
Sometimes I can't leave my cards laying out. My one cat loves to chew the rubber band off the piles.
Oh, no way.
And then they're all over the place,
That's too funny. Now, Ron's cat gets on the stream a lot.
Yeah. She protests, or she's been on a few streams.
Now she'll come on and do her dance. I think she has her own YouTube channel or OnlyFans or something.
She has her own. She disappoints a lot of people on her OnlyFans channel.
I'm waiting for somebody to be streaming the 69 Cubs and a black cat comes across the screen.
Now that would be funny.
Oh, Doug, Happy New Year to you too. And Steve Towers got 2 dogs and 2 cats. And he's lucky his dogs don't, the fireworks and the thunder don't bother them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one getting the thunder rolls.
He doesn't care about the fireworks.
Yeah, as long as they're probably out of sight, out of mind. It's
we face the wrong way. If they shoot them out over the lake, and I don't face the lake. I face down.
Okay.
If we face the lake, I'm sure she'd care a lot more. But
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. I did not know that. Yeah, we get all kinds of storms over here, and oh my gosh, yeah.
So
I love the Rogue one at 3 a.m. when it just goes boom, and everyone wakes up in the neighborhood. You see all the lights in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Come on, and it's just one big thunder. You're like, oh, come on.
So what's the weather up you guys' way tonight?
It's a green New Year's up here.
Yeah, green and rain.
That's why cold. About 32 here. I can't say.
Yeah, we got
it'll be in the 30s down here in North Carolina.
30.
It snowed real bad in Chicago today for the Bears game, from what I saw.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's probably if that's anything, if it's going to hold up, it'll be here in probably about Wednesday or Thursday. Although that might change to rain. We're kind of getting a little.
We've had
just snow here.
Rain.
Yeah, Tabby on the demos.
That's true.
It's on all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Craig, thanks for coming by
Thanks,
here.
Craig.
Happy New Year, Craig.
Happy New Year.
And it's 55 in Florida. Oh, geez, yeah, that's
That
cold.
was weird
That's-
Christmas Day for
yeah.
it being in the 60s.
Robert's going
And-
to need a jacket in Florida.
Yeah.
And
Well,
wasn't too.
too
Yeah,
bad
it was
most
snowing a
people
little
get
bit. Then it didn't down there in Chicago. Did you guys ever see that? I was watching a YouTube video. It was like the most extreme weather games. There was a couple of games that started off like at 1 o'clock, sunny day, teams are taking the field, normal game, and then by halftime, it's either like 2 feet of snow or flooded with rain. Like that's how fast the weather changed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, this is nuts.
By the way,
You know?
today is the anniversary of the Fog Bowl, I believe.
Yeah, December 31st.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. 1989, I believe.
Yeah.
I remember trying to watch that game, and then the announcers are like, we can't see anything. Seriously. They kicked a field goal or an extra point, and like, we have no idea. You know?
So you might have to have in that type of thing, you might have the referees change into construction outfits, worker
and
outfits.
that's the one that, like, at halftime it was fine, and then at halftime the fog
You
just
could see it start to come in. Yeah.
it just dropped in. Yeah,
They
that was
asked
a nutty
they
game.
asked the refs, why didn't you stop it? And they said, well, because there wasn't any point that we couldn't see both goalposts.
Oh, really?
Good
Okay.
night, David.
So we got
We had a snow game in the 6A high school championship game in Kansas this year. I was playing in a blizzard.
Ah,
I liked playing in snow when I played football because you couldn't really dig in and clobber people. It was a lot of pushing.
Lay
and shoving.
down.
Yeah. It's just Winter Classic tomorrow at I believe 3 Eastern.
Oh wow.
30 in Philly. Okay. And PA. Okay.
yeah, it's 30 here as well.
35, yeah. Sadly, well, there was one game in 07 between the Bills and the Browns in Cleveland that literally from start, well, maybe about halftime it probably stopped but by that time the field was just covered. Phil Dawson had to work his magical leg, and for the second time in a few weeks hit the stanchion on the back of the goalpost.
Oh.
And they got a safety when they oversnapped the punter, and he just kicked it out of the back of the end zone, and then
Well, a
stopped.
couple of weeks ago, when the Panthers were playing the Falcons, it was raining so hard here in Charlotte that there was very little fans in the stands.
I saw the pictures of
Saw that.
all those people dressed as Halloween as empty seats.
Yeah, that was they're pretty bad. I heard that the owner of the Panthers threw a drink on some of the fans of the Jaguars today. They were talking on the radio.
Really?
And he's gonna be in
Yes,
some
I
big
am.
trouble for that. He's gonna be in some big trouble
Roger
for
will
that.
not be happy with that one.
No.
No,
There'll be a FedEx delivery.
He'll be donating to his local charity via
That's-
fine
yes.
money.
A rather large check coming. Yes.
Yeah, that's too bad when that happens. But he's frustrated. His team's they 1 win or 2 wins or something.
Yeah,
and-
we still
2
don't
wins
do
and
that,
just
though.
clinched the first pick in the draft for the Bears.
For the Bears.
oh, that's
Because
right.
they
Yeah.
traded to get the quarterback from Alabama, and was a first round pick, and then they just stunk up the joint so bad they got the Bears the first round pick, and the Bears are technically still in playoff contention.
There's a lot of teams that are either 8-8 or 7-8 or whatever it is, and it's like, man, this playoff is a mess this year because so many mediocre teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Yep.
fun to watch. It's been fun to watch. It really is.
It's been a year of backup quarterbacks. There are only
Yes.
5
Oh,
starting
man.
quarterbacks from year 1 that are still playing, or from the first week that are still playing.
Really?
It's
5?
bad, yeah. Some teams went to 3 and 4
Mahomes.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Browns went to 4.
Mhm. There's at least 3 teams that have gone to 4 or 5. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
the-
how do
the
you like you look
Giants
at
is pretty much plucking people out of the stands.
Jets and the Giants, Cincinnati. You know.
Tyrod played pretty well today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. You know.
What I love the complete YouTube collection of Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, the 8-second video.
It almost reminds me of the radio edit of a song called "Not Safe for Work" by Psycho Stick, where they literally just use the F word the entire song, except for the last word, which is the S bomb.
Okay.
When they had the draft here last summer in Kansas City, there were lots of Jets fans, and you could see them, and they were so excited about the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
the
win the
NFL
Super Bowl in May.
prime time went all in, and 25% was sign up, and then but 26% of the Browns salary cap is on IR.
Wow.
And yet they have 11 wins.
I wonder what happened this year, why so many people, especially quarterbacks, were hurt. I mean, usually 1 or 2, but this was, I would say 80% of the league, their quarterbacks.
I have a theory about that. The owners really went down hard against paying running backs last year, and even a lot of teams are getting rid of their fullback, and so teams are out of balance. They're throwing all the time, and so they can pin their ears back and rush that quarterback, and their quarterbacks are paying a toll.
It's just all these quarterbacks are hurt. It's so frustrating because you want to see these teams and you're just like, man, I don't. They were talking about the quarterback when they talk about on the radio. They're like, and then in this game here, it's so and so to a touchdown pass. Anybody ever heard of him? Nope, never heard of him. And he's going up against this guy.
Like the general managers in Major League. Who are these friggin' guys?
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch the Tommy DeVito miniseries. Okay, his mom's making him lasagna. His agent looks like he started in The Sopranos, and he played his 4 games as a starter for the Giants.
Now, did Flacco play this week? He's playing pretty
Yeah,
well.
he played. Yeah.
Flacco's been solid. He's going
to
take
they clinched
long
on Thursday, so they completed the Christmas quote unquote miracle, winning 2 games in 5 days.
Wow,
4 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
good for
played
them.
Sunday against Houston and beat them pretty good, except for when they lost their kicker and their punter and had to go for it on 4th down and go for 2 every time. So that made the final score a little bit closer because they couldn't kick field goals and extend the lead. So it was either touchdown or nothing.
I would
love to see one time. Sorry, Dave, to cut you off. One time for a team that's like either stuck in a playoff position or a team that can't improve their draft stock, or maybe could be a lame duck coach. There's always this. You have a better odds of going for it every time on 4th down. Why can't we see that once in a pro football game?
Maybe. What I don't get is you got a field goal kicker and a punter. Back in the day, it was the same guy. Now they're 2 distinct ones. Why can't they both learn each other's job? So in a pinch, the punter can kick a field goal or an extra point, and the field goal kicker can punt if you get in a jam. I mean,
or
I don't
can't
get
the punter do a drop kick.
Right.
A drop kick.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I know they're very different, but you're still kicking the ball, and you should be. I mean, you should be able to bleed over and do that. I mean, you got running backs that can throw passes, so a kicker should be able to punt the ball and kick a field goal. Okay, maybe specialize in one or the other, but in a pinch, you're a kicker. Get in there and kick.
There was a time in the early 80s where Walter Payton was the emergency quarterback for the Bears, and he had to come in and play quarterback.
Oh, really?
This was pre-McMahon.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he's one of the few that have thrown, caught, and ran for a touchdown in a game. David Patton did that for the Patriots in 01.
David Patton.
So, yeah.
David Patton. Remember that. He ran, caught, and threw one in a game.
Against
it was in the dome too. It might have been against like the Colts or something.
Yeah, it was against the Colts. Sadly, I do remember that because that was still big in fantasy football at that point. I was 22 when that happened. Just kind of show my age a little bit, my young age.
Your young age, yeah.
I'm getting the gray hair. Trust me. If I grew it out a little bit and I put the close up, the years of government work will show gray hair. Anybody that does government work for more than 4 years.
I mean, remember that when fantasy football started back in the early 80s, it was like based on the scoring.
Yes.
Yeah. And I kind of enjoyed that. My first year was 84. My first draft pick was Jerry Rice, and my second one was Dan Marino.
And so tell me that you won, right?
I did.
Well, Rice wasn't great for was 84 his rookie year?
Yes, no, he was pretty good.
Okay.
And Marino was fantastic.
All right, D. Scott Howard.
And SGG Jamie coming by.
Happy New Year, Jamie.
Dragon Slayer avatar there.
Yeah, was that the laser disc game?
Yes.
Yep.
There was a barcade that had it near me.
Me too.
I could never get when they had the two spinny things that you had to get the like right at the frame where it was like both of them were facing you was when you had to press the forward button to get through.
It was hard. I
Never
was
get
not
that.
good at it. I was
And
not
50
good
cents
at
a
it.
play, they were after that.
Yeah, it was not a quarter. It was 50 cents, and those games were tough.
There was not the only one that Don Bluth ever made.
What are you doing?
Space, I think, was the other one. Dragon's Lair equals awesome. Yeah. And they have it for the arcade 1-up. I guess they probably have like a USB stick that has the full game on it. Yeah.
You know what was a fun game to play that I remember going up? I think I went up to like Salisbury Beach or something in New Hampshire with my grandparents when we were kids. And it was a tabletop game. I think it stood up though. And it was the X's and O football with the track
Oh, I
ball.
remember those. Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun. You pick your play and and then and it's like, you're spinning this ball as hard as you can. That was a fun little
Late
game.
70s, I remember playing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good time. There was some fun arcade games. And that was a classic arcade game. Space Ace. I don't remember Space Ace.
Yeah, that Space Ace was the other Don Bluth Laserdisc game.
So Dave, you're big in hockey. Did you ever play the Rod hockey games?
Oh my gosh, I had the Bobby Orr one, and I got a picture of me and my brother in front of it one Christmas, probably like 73 or 74. And of course, we get rid of it over the years. And now if you want to buy that, it's like $200,
Yeah.
I loved my Rod hockey games. I had a Snoopy one with all the Peanuts characters.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I had that. I had the Phil Esposito and Tony Esposito magnetic hockey game where the one guy was on the top and one guy was on the bottom. You remember that?
Uh-huh.
I had a ton of hockey games as a kid, and then after we got rid of it all, I kept asking for another Rod hockey for Christmas, and my mother would never allow me to get it. And so I bought one. And I can't see it now, but it's over there. I bought one at a flea market one time, and I think it was from '69 because it had Oakland, not California, but Oakland. And I went online. It was Monroe. It was a company called by Monroe, and it still works. And it's still okay. And I went on to eBay and I bought a bunch of teams for it. And they were not that expensive, but I don't use it that much. It just sits over there. But I see it, and I get a warm, fuzzy feeling when I see that thing. But I did like that as a kid. But you need two people. You need two people to play these things.
Friend of mine, we played all the time. And then we weren't even kids. We were adults. We would always be in his basement playing,
Yeah, and what do you know what I actually did though is I would take the nets from the Rod hockey games, right? And I'd put them on the kitchen table, and my mother would make me hockey cakes for my birthday, and she would put the players on the top. And so we'd have the birthday, cut the cake, and she would make the rink. So it'd be a white cake, and she put the lines, and every year she'd do a different logo. Like one year it was Bruins, one year it was Canadians, one year it was North Stars, one year it was Blues, and I'd give her the design, and she'd do it. She decorated cakes back in the day, and that was kind of fun. And so what I would do is I'd take the guys off the cake, and after I lick the frosting off, I wash them all up. And then I had these little race cars, and I would peel the wheels off the race cars, and that would be my puck. So I'd have the nets from the Rod hockey game, the players from the cake, and then the wheel was my puck. To a point, I played so much. She had my grandfather construct me a little board, and it was this little thing that you could sit on the floor in it. There was these two things that kept it up, and it was just a piece of plywood that they cut, and they put boards around. He put all the lines and on the nets, and I could play, and the puck would stay in while I played. And
Nice.
that's how I practiced my play-by-play back when I was a kid, was playing with these guys, because there was no video games back then. It was all
Right.
and I didn't know anything about Strat or Apple back then. I just didn't know about it. So that was my game, is I would play these little games here on the table and play for hours play these games.
Anybody play electronic football with the vibrating football field?
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are terrible. I couldn't figure those out.
They still play that to this day.
Yes,
there's every year.
There's some groups that play that. You're exactly right. There's some groups on Facebook all the time that I follow, and I could never figure out how to pass.
It's you get the quarterback. You kind of pick one, and you have to move the quarterback's hand back. It's like on a kind of spring loaded.
Yeah,
and if you hit them at any point, like either in the
anywhere,
body or anything, it's a completed pass. and then you restart it, and then it goes.
Unless you
Oh,
hit
no
an
kidding.
opponent and it's an interception.
Right.
Mhm.
There was a video that I watched, and somebody like explained it down to the T. I'm like, I need to watch that again. And like John Boy doing the how cricket is like baseball.
Yeah.
I need to watch that video again, because when he said it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense, but trying to learn it again while not watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That
I
was.
could explain Australian rules football to you guys, because the grand final this year was a great game. But it's I like that over rugby, and Fox
Yeah, I
Sports
love-
1 thankfully still has it. So
Yeah, I love watching the Australian football on the
It is fun.
ESPN when they first started. On Sunday morning you turn that on, and
It's a tough sport.
it is.
Oh yeah.
Somebody had to tackle Jordan Mailata when he played that. The
I used
Eagles
to
right
like
tackle. He was about 370 pounds.
What was the game? It was the Irish hurling, when they would
Oh.
bounce the baseball and then whack. Just like, oh God, what are you doing? And people would like try to get in front of it. No, that is just nuts. It's like, you're not going to stand in front of that thing. And they would whack each
Cricket
other.
ball, I still don't understand. Like, you got to toughen up your hands to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Robert here. The Coleco electronic quarterback. We got those for Christmas, me and my uncle, and we would pass that back and forth like all Christmas Day and play that.
I had the Coleco electronic baseball.
Oh, that was a longer one, right?
No, that was sort of like it had like the two
the
things on the
stadium.
side with the pitching.
Yeah, I remember that.
Basketball on
Yeah.
the curve, and then you had like the power hit, like a bunt,
Yep.
and you could pitch out. I
Yeah,
actually had that until probably late 90s, and then it
Really?
probably got lost in the shuffle somewhere, and took 9-volt batteries, and it had the score on there and what inning it was, and doot.
I wanted to get him one for Christmas, one of those electronic quarterbacks, and they were like, $150, $200 on eBay. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
just for a novelty.
they know how rare they are, and it's supply and demand.
Mattel actually re-released some of their games, because I think I have the hockey and maybe the baseball, and they incorporated sounds, which is kind of neat. So it's just a replica of the game. It's not the one from the 70s or the 80s, but it played just like it. But it would have crowd sound if you scored and stuff. So it was kind of neat. It was an updated version of it. It was like, and they were like $20. It's like, oh, okay, I'll do that, you know. But I'm certainly not going to be dropping that kind of money on an original that may or may not work anymore,
Football 2, where you could pass. Football 1, you could only run. The Mattel.
Yeah, on Mattel, yeah. And the electronic quarterback, you could pass. That was the great thing about that. And P-Jet had the 70 Bobby Hull game. Now, was that I thought Bobby Hull had a WHA one. He might have had both. The Moreau game didn't have actual logos, just a city name. Yes, that's the one that I got there. Yeah, it just says a city name. And that messed me up, P-Jet, for the longest time, because I think I had Boston, New York when I played, and it would say New York written down on the jersey. So for the longest time, I thought that was the New York jersey. The New York jerseys always said Rangers, except for one season. I think it said New York on the blue jerseys. But it always messed me up. I was like, I want to get one of those jerseys that says New York, and I couldn't find one because it wasn't really their jersey. It was from the player in the game.
Right.
Just like it said Boston, and they all said it the same way. So,
PJ, I saw a picture of Bobby Hull, I think on Facebook or somewhere last week, he's sitting in the locker room in his prime years with his shirt off. He was chiseled. No wonder he was a superstar. That man was built.
Football with the records. Okay. Well,
Talking football records.
I've seen the Monday Night Football one with the records. You select the play and then select the record. I'm old enough, but I've been too young. I had someone posted this on one of the Facebook groups, the VCR football game.
Yes, I was just about to bring that up.
My dad and I would play that. Yeah,
it got so bad that I memorized. You could kind of a couple times through, you could know what play was coming next.
Right. I mean that was a great game.
Tim, you're amazing in trivia. I bet you know who the first Monday Night Football game was.
Yes, it was the Browns and the Jets.
Yeah.
And Homer Jones had the ran the second half kickoff. I was gonna. That game is actually on YouTube along with the first. You can pull up almost anything now on YouTube.
You can.
Yeah.
Like all the first year Monday night games. It's like, boy, Keith Jackson. You felt bad for him. You had to work with him for at least a year or two on Monday Night Football, and then he had to come pester him for baseball season later on in the
Oh,
70s.
yeah. There's the infamous night in Philadelphia where Cosell is smashed out of his mind and pukes on Don Meredith.
Yeah,
and
or the one where
sent him home at the half, and Cosell hired a taxi in Philadelphia and drove a taxi from Philly to New York.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What was it? Monday Night Mayhem was that TNT like movie that came out about this Monday Night Football. That wasn't bad.
There was a game on Monday Night Football. I think it was in Cleveland. I want to say it was the Raiders in Cleveland, but it was in Cleveland, and they were. Cosell was the announcer, and they were panning the crowd, and this one kid, right as the camera got to him, held up the sign, and it said "F Cosell." And it was all spelled out, and it was just like you know how they showed the crowd, and this kid saw the camera, just went boom, and I was just like, as a kid, I was like, holy crap! Then they cut away, but they didn't cut it out. They couldn't cut it out because it was just too fast. It's like, holy cow!
There was
I guess it's not as bad as the guy in Houston that gave.
I'm about to say the guy in Houston, and he's flipping off the camera, and then Meredith goes to Cosell. They're just telling you, Howard, you're number one.
No, but you know who's number one? I was watching the Kansas City at Baltimore.
Yeah, Larry, I was watching some of that last night.
Yeah.
Last year, I watched the replay on YouTube of the 1962 AFL Championship game, the Oilers and Chiefs. And I was kind of impressed. The players were fast. They weren't as big as today, but their skills and blocking was great. I mean, I was really impressed.
Abner Haynes blowing the coin toss.
Yeah, he did. We had a coin. There was a coin toss blown here. I think in a college game, or somebody went out that wasn't supposed to, or was it a pro game?
No, it was the Packers. Jair Alexander.
Yeah, the Jair Alexander. That's what it was. And he called the coin flip the wrong way, and I got suspended for a game.
Oh,
yeah, he got suspended for today's game. It doesn't look like they need him. They're winning 30-3 in the fourth quarter.
Who's playing tonight?
The Packers and the Vikings.
They're both fighting for. They're fighting for playoff spots. Both of those teams, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Espanol.
Abner Haynes flubbed out that coin toss because he was confused on what I guess the coach had told him which way to call. He called the wrong way, but I didn't realize until the Jair Alexander thing. They said you could call three things. You could call I want the ball, or the direction, or defense.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize they could do that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice.
Now it's receive, defer. I think that's about it now, right? Receive, kick, or defer.
Yeah.
And a lot of them want it's like deferring, and so what? You're going to defer to the second half so you can kick off again? Like,
yeah. I remember the
I
time
guess
Belichick
that came from like the team that
All right, Robert.
The kickoff would be like you could decide whether you wanted to receive it again or not. From way back in the day.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But anyway.
Oh, by the way, another fun thing that happened today, I don't know if I've mentioned this to Brian and Bob. I don't know if you've ever heard of the scoregami for the NFL.
Yeah, it's when you never had that particular score before.
That was the Miami Dolphins and the Ravens played a 59-19 game today.
Yeah.
Scoregami. 56-19.
56-19. Wow.
Yeah, and there have been 9 scoregami games this season.
Yeah, I knew there was quite a few.
Haven't been involved in 3 of them. The big win against the Broncos, the big win against the Commanders, and then this loss. So I wonder if this might look to be one of the higher scoring seasons ever. Granted,
yeah. Well,
you kind of skew this a little bit with there being an extra game
and
or 3.
You figure with all the quarterbacks out too, all the backups in there, you think it'd be low scoring, but
so that's 2 teams today were the ones that kept their starting quarterbacks, Jackson and Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Miami got smoked. I don't think Miami's beaten a team over 500 all season, so you wonder if they're going to be frauds in the playoffs. You kind of wonder that.
They got a big game next week for the division with Buffalo.
That's
And
probably gonna
Buffalo,
be next year Sunday night game for next week.
probably in Buffalo, I think if they win, they're the number 2 seed, but if they lose, they might not even get in the playoffs.
Wow.
So it's a huge game for Buffalo.
For those that might not be enjoying football, we apologize.
Yeah,
that's all right. We're here to talk about everything. So yeah. So if anybody's got any final comments, and we're gonna probably wrap this up here pretty soon. But anybody's here in the chat room or even in the on the broadcast here. So we're gonna take our final comments.
I guess my final comments are thank you, Dave and Ron, for continuing the good work. And I may not listen to all the Digital Dice podcasts, but the ones I do, they are very entertaining. I'm like I said, I did my own kind of year in review video, but for those that may have watched, it was only a 5-minute video anyway. I'm hoping to get done with my 2007 postseason. Not really sure what I could do for baseball. I'd like to maybe get a couple games of Strat hockey on because I have the 16-17 season, which is one of the few really good years for the Blue Jackets. So, and I'd like to maybe get down on the channel and then maybe when Robert gets done with the 72 season, maybe start Clemente. So that's about all I got. So.
Yep, and thanks to everybody that tuned in. We had a lot of people watching tonight.
Yes.
We had a lot of people on the show tonight. We want to thank everybody that took the time to come on and say hi. And let me see. Any upcoming games you're looking forward to getting on your tabletop and your channel? I need to get some more football back on my channel. I don't know if I'm going to go full play games or quicker play games or whatever. I'm looking forward to that new football game there that Al was talking about, the Glory Days football. Is that what it is, Ron?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think that really will be up your alley because you can do drive by drive, you can do play by play, you can do both in the same drive.
Yeah, I want to do some of that. I still want to explore some more baseball games because I know there's a ton of games that I haven't played, so I like to play some more of those and things like that. I always like playing some new things on the channel. I do like that ultra quick basketball by Downey. That's the quarter by quarter play is really fun. For basketball, it plays pretty quick too. So there's all kinds of games that you'll probably see on my channels. I like to expand. Again, I like to go all over the place, and I would like to do some longer projects. But for me, I like to play different games and do one-offs and playoffs and things like that. And so,
thank you, Jerome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael and Larry and D. Scott. And Barbara was on tonight. I think she was on for the whole stream tonight.
Yeah,
Thanks,
all
Barbara.
3.5 hours.
Yep. K-Fan, thank you for coming by. Yep. So it's a happy new year. And Slash D's Gaming is doing a heavyweight tourney project. Should be kind of fun. Yeah, we're hoping for health and happiness in 2024. That's what we're hoping. And he's using a Pro Boxing Universe dice game. That's
Is that Ronnie Wyatt's game?
It might be. I forget. Steeler fan, thanks for coming on here earlier.
Yeah, it was nice to have you on.
Yep. Yeah, we got to meet a lot of great people tonight. It really was. We're going to have to definitely do this again in the future. It really was a good time. Michael and JD, thanks for coming by. So anyway, all righty, folks. Well, again, this was our big effing New Year show. That's what we called it here. And I want to thank everybody that stopped by and everybody that tuned in and chatted.
That's awesome.
And,
Thank you.
It was better than I expected. It really was. I'm not sure what to expect as we just kind of threw this out there, but we got a lot of people on tonight, and we got to talk to a lot of great people. Some people we've never met, some people we have, and we got to meet people that play all different kinds of games.
Yeah,
and it was a really a fun time tonight. And I can't go back and watch some of this myself too because we had a lot of people on. I want to go back and listen myself. So we're going to sign off here. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. It's still time to go. And I got some cocktail shrimp upstairs. I got to dig out of the fridge. So I'm going to have a little bit of that. And maybe I'll play a game here offline tonight to ring in the new year myself. I don't know what I'm going to play, but I'll find something here to play. And we'll be catching up with you guys later this week. We got to figure out when we're going to record our next Digital to Dice podcast. We got to talk about that too. But we knew we'd do this tonight, and tonight I think went really well.
Yes,
and
it
again,
did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
to
Thank you,
everybody
Dave.
that came by. So our last few goodbyes here in the chat room. AC Wraith comes by. Good to see you, AC Wraith. Thanks for coming by tonight. P-Jet, thanks for coming by. It was good to talk to P-Jet. And when we do a hockey show, we'll have to have P-Jet on. And Barbara just ate her shrimp at the house, so nobody go to Barbara's house because there's no shrimp left.
What I had for dinner tonight was shrimp cocktails.
Yeah, she's got some upstairs, so I'm gonna go have some more of that myself. But,
All right.
and the dog says, "Happy New Year."
Happy New Year.
And we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for coming by.
Happy
Bye-bye.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
bye.
Bye-bye.
New Year. Bye.
Bye.